Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the zoo. The minions with me this evening, at least the ones that have shown up thus far, are JenTMaxi,
Hello.
the Hate Camel.
I am still getting used to being a minion and not an exhibit.
Yep.
Welcome to the club.
And Useless.
Yep, how goes it?
Doing grand. How about you guys?
Well, alive and kicking.
Merry
That's
Christmas.
always better than the alternative. And of course, I'm the keeper for the evening, Sanguine. So, I'm trying to make a decision, and I'll let chat in on the decision I'm trying to make as well, of which whiskey I want to have tonight. The options that I have available, because I'm going to go either for an Irish or Scotch at the moment, are Jameson Black Barrel, Writer's Tears, Green Spot, or one that I bought as a little bit of a splurge, not something ridiculous, just a really damn fine Scotch, is the Laphroaig Cardias Cask Strength, which is amazing.
So what's the flavor profile on that one, though?
The Cask Strength is a Laphroaig that's been aged it's triple matured, has a nice peaty smokiness because it's a Laphroaig, it's an Islay. All Isleys have that nice strong peatiness to them, which is smokiness as most people read it. And it's a cask strength, so it is substantially stronger than all the others, considering standard whiskey is 80 proof, plus or minus. A cask strength is 160 proof.
Oh, that's almost full strength.
Yeah, it is double the strength of a standard because it then gets watered. It might be a little bit less than 160, might be in the 120 range, but you get the point. It's a fair bit higher alcohol content than the others.
I'm going to vote for the Jamesons if for no other reason than their commercials amuse me.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I'll let chat give their feedback if they have any. If not, I'll pick one and go with it. But beyond that, I'm also going to be drinking some Odin's Skull mead, and I'll be pan-frying up a Brenzino here before too much longer.
Nice. I gotta make some more mead because I enjoy it. It's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't drink it.
Yep. But yeah, so
I've never had a mead.
Oh, they're good.
Oh, they're delicious.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of different types that you can go for, from standard meads to methaglins to... And no, this will not be a drunken minions, because
I was going to ask, how fast would a mead get me shark-eyed?
I do not feel the need to beggar myself in order to get drunk.
My mead, it will make you go crazy. I one time made a ginger mead, and it was super sour. But it was great, though.
So most meads will be a bit higher alcohol content than a beer. They'll get more up into the wine range.
Yeah.
So the Odin's Skull that I'm going to be drinking is, for instance, a 19%
Nice.
ABV.
Well, it is honey wine, so it makes sense,
Yep. Yeah, and like I said, there's a whole bunch of different types. So the Odin's Skull that I'm drinking is technically a Sicer, which is the mead that is brewed with apple juice as well. So it's kind of a combo of a cider and a mead.
Nice.
And thanks for shilling across your Discords and whatnot, Assassin. That is always greatly appreciated.
Yep.
I went ahead and tweeted it out when you went live.
Yeah, I
thank
did
you for
too.
that
That's
as well.
why I went. That's why I went silent, because Twitter always phases me out for a few seconds. Whoa, what's garbage? Is oh yeah, it's like a train wreck. I think the only good thing that I saw that is of interest, though, that I'm only passing along because it's Weibo, is Weibo's gonna do I guess she's a guest with Mr. Repsion.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I guess they're being joined by Ruined Leon. I don't know if any of you know him, but
Yeah,
I
I heard
watch
of
his.
him.
Yeah, I watch his stuff on occasion.
He does a
I
lot of
have,
things with Gothics. So
Yeah, yeah. He's
No idea
funny and wears
who
a
that
big hat.
is.
yeah, I have no clue either.
Yeah, he's a black YouTuber. He did a call out on one of the Twitch ladies who was all like, you just don't follow and like me because I'm black and give me a free PlayStation, and she ended up getting
Oh, that bitch. Yeah.
yeah, and so he called her out on it, and she was all like, "Oh, you're just a grifter, blah blah blah," and like, no black person ever makes it anywhere, and like within like a month he got up to like 148 subs or something. I'm not
And
sure where he is.
How
but-
the fuck are you going to accuse someone of being a grifter when the thing that they are going after you for is you bitched until you got a game system?
Exactly. And then he was just basically pointing out every YouTuber on YouTube that's doing just fine without having to pull that shit, and there's plenty of them in
Mhm.
every section. Every section of YouTube, there's plenty of people of color who are doing pretty well, actually.
Mhm.
Because they're not grifting; they're just genuine people on YouTube that are interesting.
Yeah, like there's one black YouTuber that
Mhm.
has done a series of videos on the Robin DiAngelo book,
oh,
White Fragility, and is
Oh,
doing
God.
the follow-up on it, Latronics, if I remember correctly.
Johnny and I tried to he found a copy of that book somewhere on the internet. We tried to read it, and I don't think we got past the introduction. It was just rereading sentences over and over again. Is like, how is this supposed to make any fucking sense?
I don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, see, that's where you made the mistake. You were assuming that it was supposed to make sense.
Well, I mean, I just thought, words in a particular order are supposed to form sentences, and these had, words in particular orders, and they had punctuation. So,
Yeah, but they aren't supposed to make
shame
sense.
on
They're
me,
just
I
supposed
guess.
to snipe at people that they think deserve being sniped at.
Well, racism never really makes sense to me anyway. So
Well, I just want to say, completely off topic here, I don't know if it's Santa that's drunk or the guys at NORAD, but the screen moving like that, that's not me.
The map keeps on spinning around. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, that's not me doing it. I tried correcting it a couple times, and I finally gave up. And yeah, so maybe they're tying one on and having a little Christmas cheer somewhere in the mountains of Colorado. I don't know.
he's getting extra cookies.
They're high.
But I'm trying to find the one channel so that I can shill it out because he does a rather good job and is definitely going, what the fuck is this bitch saying effectively throughout the entire goddamn thing.
That's literally the only thing I said to Johnny while we were sitting there trying to read that shit.
Mm-hmm. And of course, because of that, he's also being massively downregulated in the searches when it comes to Google searches and to YouTube searches. So here's the channel. And like I said, he did a video on the first Robin DiAngelo book, and now he's doing a video on the video series on the second Robin DiAngelo book. And is just going off on them because they deserve to have someone go off on them.
All right.
So, quality content.
I'll watch this later.
Since I brought this up before the stream, I just for the edification of chat, I want to say that if anyone is in the New York City area, do the world a favor and take away Neil deGrasse Tyson's phone.
You were
Because-
telling us earlier that he was being a bit of a prat online.
Being a bit of is being generous, in my opinion. Yeah, astrophysicists has nothing better to do on Christmas Eve than to debunk Santa Claus. Like, I saw that, couple and more than one tweet too. Like he's got one about the speed that Santa would have to go through in low Earth orbit would vaporize, or through low Earth's lower atmosphere, would vaporize his reindeer and sleigh. And bringing up Einstein's theory of relativity, and now he's want to talk about zoology. All the reindeer must be female because they have antlers.
I have no problem with the talking about the speed, because that is actually kind of a fun calculation to do. But then continuing on to make it a not real. Yeah, no shit, he's not real. We all know that. We're
Just for fun.
Kids are the only ones that don't know. I
guess Christmas Eve is a really slow day at the planetarium. Huh.
Probably.
It's like, dude, if you got the place all yourself, smoke a joint and look at the stars. Shut the fuck up.
But yeah, like I said, I have no problem with the weird calculations of, if this were to be a thing, here's how fast it would have to move. Like there was, I can't remember the name of the book. I think it's just What If is the name of it. And it was done by the guy who did the XKCD webcomics. And it was him going through a bunch of weird thought experiments, like, what if a pitcher managed to pitch a ball at like 99% the speed of light? Here's how this would happen. And it goes
the catcher would be fucked. That's what would happen.
Yeah, it goes through all of the effects in order. Like, this would be how the pitcher ends up being vaporized by the ball that he just threw, and the distortions that ball would create. It would heat the air in the area to this degree, so there would be a massive fireball, but the person at the plate still hasn't realized this has all started yet. And it's just working through all the weird calculations. And another one is, what if the Earth stopped spinning immediately? And he works through all the different wind systems that would hit, the way that people would be thrown off the planet by a sudden stop of the rotation. What would happen over the course of time after that? Like, eventually the moon would be able to restart the Earth's rotation very slowly. That type of shit I have no problem with, because it's kind of cool working through the actual math with. But, yeah, don't be trying to disprove Santa.
Holy shit, this is all he has tweeted about all day.
Part of me is willing to bet it's because he got people that just got really pissed off last year when he was celebrating Newton's birthday.
What's wrong with that?
Newton's birthday is Christmas.
I didn't know that.
Well, I mean,
yep.
As far as I'm concerned, it's Drunkle's birthday.
Yeah, so he put out a tweet saying it's important this time of year to remember someone who changed the whole of human existence knowledge when he was first born on this day. And then at the very end it was, so thank you, Sir Isaac Newton.
Now, see, that I'm fine with. That's one tweet, trolling. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're doing that over and over again for 13 hours...
yeah, that's a bit excessive.
Yeah. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, like John. I said, it would be one thing to just do the cool bits of calculation where, okay, for Santa to do this, here's the speeds that he would need to be traveling. That's kind of fun. But trying to go hard after Santa not real. I mean, even NORAD has the sense to play along and have a laugh with it.
Yeah,
And for
it's
those-
just for fun. Yeah.
Yep. For those who don't know what this map is, yeah, that's the NORAD Santa tracker.
But yeah, it's like, dude, if you're trying to troll, what was that? Brevity is the soul of wit. Keep it to one tweet, man.
Nice costume.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to hear Neil talking about zoology or any of that. Stick to astrophysics. That's cool enough. Why you gotta be dipping into other scientific fields that aren't yours?
I guess he thinks he knows everything.
Yeah, and I think that's why a lot of people hate Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's a
See, I
know-it-all prick.
Yeah.
I have a problem when they try to go in depth in another field, but just touching upon something doesn't really bother me because when you learn how to read scientific papers correctly, you can read scientific papers even in disciplines that you aren't part of and be able to get most of it. Now, will you be the foremost expert on that? Fuck no. You aren't going to be the foremost expert, but you'll be able to read it and you'll be able to communicate that information at least semi-competently.
Well, I mean, I've seen him on Rogan more than once, and he always speaks from a position of authority, and that's what bugs me.
Yep.
Now, if he were talking and he starts citing other people in these different fields and whatnot, like, well, I read this study and I think this is the gist of what they're getting at, because it's not my field, whatever. Okay, cool. But he always speaks from a position of authority every time I've seen him anyway. And it's like, fuck you, you smarmy know-it-all prick. That's the kind of person that, if we had bullying back in schools, would get shoved into a locker.
Hello, Adam.
Rightfully so.
Hey, Adam.
Hey, Adam.
Hey, how's it going? Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Please continue.
What's up, Adam? Where are we at on the Marley scale tonight?
The Bob? I'm on the Bob.
What's that?
How many bobs are you on, though?
I've got a pipe, so I think one.
Okay.
Because it's just a little tiny pipe, so.
Oh,
Fair
come on.
enough.
I was wondering if you're flying straight, Adam, or if you're like a couple of tokes away from busting out into a rendition of "No Woman, No Cry."
Wait, what?
Huh?
Wait, what did I miss? I thought
We all have beverages of booze, or we have things of highness.
yeah, you got. And you just said you had a midget pipe. What the hell? What the hell did I miss?
You missed everything.
Yeah, I guess so. Shit.
I was wondering, like, are you sober-ish, or are you closer to Eagle
Or are
Ball?
you celebrating the holidays?
What holiday?
Well, today is
So-
Christmas Eve. Tomorrow's Christmas.
Ah,
Many people are partaking in various
Methods of
forms
merriment.
of inebriation.
ew, is anybody drinking eggnog?
I am
You
not
know-
drinking eggnog. I'm trying to
I do
decide on
have
what
some
whiskey
eggnog
to
in the fridge.
go
I
into.
should have grabbed that instead of my Dr. Pepper.
I make my own eggnog, so
Ew,
I'm saving the eggnog for tomorrow, really.
bet you
Mhm.
do make your own eggnog.
yeah.
Oh, hell.
I am a cook after all,
I'm
Oh.
lazy. I bought mine at the store.
Yeah. It is a lot of
Okay.
work.
So,
Okay.
Adam,
I-
since
I-
he's joined in and you haven't weighed in,
Oh no.
and you actually do
I'm
drink
still
whiskey
lost.
every so often,
Yeah.
which whiskey should I crack into for the
Oh.
night? I have Jameson Black Barrel, Writer's Tears, which is a rather lovely Irish whiskey, Green Spot, which I think you had a tickle of Green Spot on the 4th of July feast, and then I have Lafroig Cardias, which is a cask strength Scotch.
Good God. Well, I mean, use the gym if you're gonna be using this for for
just
public
drinking
purposes.
along with dinner and.
Yeah, use the Jim Beam. Go with the.
You mean the Jameson?
or the Jameson? Well, I don't know, man. Because what was the first thing you said?
I have Jameson Black Barrel, Writer's Tears, which is a double oaked Irish whiskey, Green Spot, and then Lefroy Cardias.
Shit. Well, first off, is there a reason we're looking at the map of what is it?
We're watching
It's the
Santa.
Santa Tracker.
Okay. Are they gonna explode if I answer the wrong whiskey?
No,
No.
you can
No.
answer whatever you want. We're all drinking
Okay.
kind of different stuff.
This
We're all kinda-
will not result in Santa exploding
Okay.
mid.
Although Dangler
Like-
did say earlier today that Santa was going around slapping people for acting like bitches, and I live in a castle doctrine state, so I mean, he may catch some flack flying over Oklahoma. Just saying.
Whoa.
I know that the Irish Cheers one sounds kind of interesting though.
Yeah, I'd go with the. I mean, if you're gonna be spreading the wealth, I'd go with the one that isn't the fanciest, or the one that has a special label. As
So-
much as you can.
Go for either the Writer's Tears or the Green Spot, it sounds like. Not the highest grade, but not the lowest grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't give them top shelf if you're making cupcakes for people.
This is just for personal use tonight. I'll save that Cardias for tomorrow when I pop on the Christmas stream for a moment. I'll pop out some of the Cardias and have a tickle of that. But it sounded like Useless said go for Writer's Tears. So that's 2 votes for the mid-range. I'll go for the Writer's Tears.
I mean, I actually quit drinking because I get too emotional. So
I don't drink very often. I just I got one because I thought, you know what, it's Christmas and it's not often I actually walk into a liquor store, and yeah.
Yeah, I don't drink all that often, and I never drink to get drunk
yeah.
because I don't want to pay that amount of money.
Pretty much.
My problem is that I'm a social drinker, but I'm also antisocial.
Nice.
That works. It saves your liver.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really screwed my lungs because I smoke like a chimney.
Well, it kind of
He's a
fits your picture.
social drinker, but an antisocial smoker, is what he said.
See, that was one of the selling points for me to keep smoking. Was like everyone's like, "Oh, well, you can't smoke indoors. You gotta go outside." I was like, "All right."
You mean I get to go someplace else
Yeah.
and not deal with you?
What
Is it
I
supposed to be a negative?
Well,
You don't know me very well.
the thing that I love is when I'll be outside smoking a cigarette. Like maybe I'm about to walk into a place, or I walked out to go smoke, and somebody walks past me and they'll do like the little cough or whatever, like that passive aggressive. Like, go fuck yourself, man.
Yeah.
I'll just blow it in the face.
I'm outside. What else do you want me to do? Yeah. Have you thought about walking in the other direction?
Mm-hmm. And it is now time for me to toss my Branzino into the skillet.
Nice.
Poor
Can you do
Zeno.
some ASMR cooking sounds?
Branzino is a type of fish.
Ah.
So I have a nice whole Branzino that I scored the skin of with my newest knife, which is a Serbian chef's knife.
Is it a meaty fish or just like a white fish?
It's not like a salmon or tuna or anything like that, but it
Okay.
has a bit more than like a standard white fish. So it's pink flesh rather than either the really meaty red flesh that you get with
Yeah.
salmon, ahi, tuna, and that, like, it's kind of that mid-range.
You know,
Bro, what are we watching?
that's the NORAD tracker for Santa, dude. We already
Yeah,
said.
it's the Santa NORAD.
How high
tracker.
are you right now, Adam? Honestly, scale of 1 to Bob Marley. Where we at?
What?
He's at Snoop Dogg.
Hold on. I'm high because I don't recognize.
No,
The
Yes,
map that we
twice already.
just took. Yeah.
What?
You don't
What?
you don't remember the answer we gave you 2 minutes ago?
No, you said you were gonna bomb fucking El Salvador or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
We were
yeah.
over at
That's
the
NORAD
point.
tracking. It's NORAD tracking Santa because it's
Yeah.
Christmas Eve.
Santa
he's
doesn't
bombing
bomb
places with
anybody.
presents.
No. I was saying that Count Dankula tweeted out earlier today that Santa's going to go around slap people for acting like little bitches. It's like, well, I live in a castle doctrine state, so he might catch some flack flying over Oklahoma if that's the case.
Hold on. Well, if that's the case, who's Santa delivering out in the middle of the ocean?
Fish.
See, we were
Mermaids.
debating earlier whether or not Santa was drunk or the guys with the NORAD controls were drunk because they've been, that map's been kind of moving around. That's not me moving the map. That's just the map.
Yeah, and
So
in order to pass from one landmass to another, he often has to pass over the ocean.
Maybe
I
go
think he just
Hawaii.
wanted to avoid Colombia and all the cartels.
Bro, he made a beeline right out to this fucking crack in the ocean. So maybe there's like an Atlantis city out there.
Yeah, man, some mermaids. Narwhals.
Or maybe, just maybe, he's taken a page out of the Pinochet playbook.
Picked up some communists and now is dropping them off at their final destination.
Well, I didn't see him flying over Venezuela, so no telling.
I guess he's going to Hawaii probably. I don't know.
Oh no,
There we
there's
go.
some islands out that way. I see one down there towards the corner of the.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I see it now. Yeah.
Well, hold on. I did see that.
Nobody in South America is getting presents this year. Is what I'm getting.
Well, no, they don't. They don't believe.
What do you mean they don't believe? They're Catholic.
It could be Catholic and not believe in Santa.
Technically, Santa is.
Hello,
pagan.
Sora.
Ah,
You know,
shit.
there's-
I gotta go.
It depends on which. So, Santa is often associated with Saint Nicholas, who was very much Christian. But then there is the Santa that is associated with Father Christmas, which is effectively a Christianized version of Odin. So it depends on which version. And hello, Sora, how are you doing?
Hi, Sora.
You can't hear you, Sora.
Sora's probably wondering what in the fuck we're looking at.
Hello, can you hear me?
There we go. Now we can hear you.
I may have been muted.
It happens.
Just talking away. Sorry about that.
Not a problem.
Sora, do you want to know something funny I found out last week from my friend from Denmark?
What?
Canadian geese fly all the way to Denmark, and then because they're little assholes up there too, they just make pets out of them.
Oh.
And then send them back. You're welcome. I didn't know that you went that
Nice.
far. She just told me that. She's like, yeah, they're still little assholes, but we make pets out of them anyway. I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean, the babies are adorable. So I suppose that, if you start them out young and then you get attached to them.
hmm
Well, most baby animals are adorable, so.
Very true. Yeah.
It's a defense mechanism so that things don't kill them as often.
Yeah.
Doesn't strike the same emotion in me as human babies, but there you go. Excuse me.
Well, certain animals will, like puppies,
Yeah.
which they evolve to become more and more neotenous and to maintain more of their neotenous features as they age.
Yeah. Well, same with
Plus-
cats. They try to be cute too, because that's how they get fed, so.
Well, there's that in the part where you can pick those two animals up when they're babies, whereas a baby goose, I don't think they would be okay with that as much.
Yeah, we can force your affection on the baby goose. I will pick you up, and you have no choice.
And I will name you George.
Because you are a small, fragile creature, and I am large.
You are mine now.
So, since it's Christmas Eve, anybody binge any Christmas movies today?
No, I've been
No,
cooking all day.
No, it's,
nothing was turned on at all for me.
I was at work all day.
Wow. Sorry, Camel.
Well, other than visiting people,
I was wondering if anybody was doing it today, or if that's something that generally do just on Christmas Day alone, or.
I visit my mom tomorrow. Trust me when I tell you it will be Christmas everywhere. Because that's what my mom does.
I had my Christmas celebration early this year, just like last year, so I've already completed my normal Christmas festivities, which is why tomorrow, rather than having a standard Christmas feast, I'm going to be doing a very Jewy Christmas.
Chinese food?
Hitting my favorite Chinese place.
Very nice.
Because I found out they're open tomorrow.
Yeah, most places
They're
are. Most
amazing.
Chinese places are open.
It depends on how naturalized they are.
Yeah.
Because there's some places that most of their staff are Christian,
Ah.
and those tend to be closed down. Whereas if it is still a fairly traditional place, they tend to be open and always delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying last night how I was thinking about trying to talk Nana Camel into a Chinese Christmas dinner. And then I remember, like, the last time I went to our local Chinese shop, they had a white girl working at the counter, so now I'm kind of wondering, like, are they going to be open?
Hey, isn't Chinese dinner what they did at Christmas Story?
That's one of the few Christmas movies I never really sat down and watched.
Yeah,
Like that and It's a Wonderful Life. I never.
Hey, that's 75 years anniversary of that one.
See, the movie that I remember the Jews eating Chinese food on Christmas from the most, that not many people have seen. How many of you have seen My Favorite Year?
What is
Nope.
No,
Nope.
can't say I have.
It doesn't. My favorite year.
Yes, My Favorite Year. It's
Is that the one with Marissa Tomei?
let me quickly double check. I can't remember if she
Hold
plays.
on, I will Google.
Okay, I've got to look this up. That's just wild.
And
No.
My Favorite Year?
It
Okay,
is
it
not.
was-
No.
yeah, it was Jessica Harper is the female lead in that one. And it is Peter O'Toole playing Alan Swan with Mark Lynn Baker playing Benji Stone. And the premise is that Benji Stone is a writer for this variety show, and he was able to get Alan Swan, this ridiculous swashbuckling film star, to come and be a part of the variety show. But Alan Swan is a notorious drunk because he's based off of a real-life actor. And all the movies that he's supposedly in are the actor's movies, effectively, just with slightly different names. It is absolutely amazing. And the entire time, Benji Stone is trying to keep Alan Swan from fucking everything up in his drunken haze, as Alan Swan's character's hitting on Benji Stone's mother, hitting on every female that walks past him. The show gets in trouble with the mafia, and he ends up having to deal with the mob who's trying to break up the show. So they're dealing with the mob while the show is currently live, being sent out on the airwaves. Just fantastically weird. But one of the most notable scenes from it is Alan Swan's drinking suit or drunk suit, which is a suit that, you know, the NBA tearaway pants?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
The entire suit's effectively that.
Nice.
But it looks like a proper suit, so that if he gets too drunk, his butler just walks over, rips his clothing off, throws him into a bathtub, makes sure that he gets clean, and then has him sleep it off.
Nice.
It's a fantastic movie, but at one point, Benji Stone is sitting down with the female lead, and they're eating Chinese food, and Benji's saying, oh yeah, if you're ever curious where the best Chinese food place is, all you have to do is you have to find a Jewish family, and the Jewish family will know because they go there every Christmas.
I'll put it on my list of things to watch. I don't think I've ever seen that. It doesn't look familiar. You're right.
It is a fantastic movie that, like I said, almost no one that I've ever met has seen the movie.
What was
But
it called
it
again?
is so damn good.
My favorite year.
My favorite year? Okay.
And I'm trying to remember the actor that Alan Swan is supposed to be based off of, and it is the same actor that was in
Is it like Errol
Flynn?
Flynn?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a joke off of Errol Flynn.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the pictures. It kind of looks like Errol Flynn.
Yep.
That makes me want to see it even more. I love Errol Flynn.
Yeah, so all the movies that he's talked about having been in are just jokes off of Errol Flynn movies.
Nice.
So I can't remember the name of the... What's the Errol Flynn pirate movie?
Captain Blood?
Quite possibly. But
It is.
they...
Captain.
Okay.
It is. It's Captain Blood.
But yeah, they make fun of that one, and they have Alan Swan having starred in a movie that was very similar, and then there's the one where it's the prisoner of...
Zanzibar?
Yes. And they have a spoof off of that one as well. It's just fantastic the entire time.
I love my swashbucklers.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, fun movies always nice. I've been watching them cheesy action movies on Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
So
Those
take
are
this
fun.
Conversation in a completely different direction.
You're very quiet, Camel.
Yes,
I
you're
am?
coming in rather soft.
That's the headset. I don't know what to do about it. There's no volume control or anything really.
Scream.
Fair enough.
you can up your,
I'm not
you can
doing
up
that.
your gain in Discord. On that Discord. No, I can't do that on StreamYard. Never mind.
Yeah. I saw a tweet from like a screenshot of a news article.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Camel. What could you increase your gain? Maybe
This is
your
crap.
volume? No, it's not better as sounds. I think it's worse actually. No, it's not.
He sounded fine, and then you yelled at him.
I didn't yell at him. I was speaking in a calm manner. Go ahead,
Now,
take Camel. Go ahead with your bad self.
I was scrolling Twitter and I saw a screenshot of an article, and so here's the tweet. Around 5 p.m. Wednesday, Tennessee authorities responded to reports of two people who had been in a battle with a male kangaroo.
Jesus.
The headline reads, "Man strangles kangaroo to death after wife is attacked near Tennessee home."
Wow.
I was about to say, you said Tennessee, right? And then you said it again. I was not familiar that there were a lot of kangaroos in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Well, what got me was
Fucking Aussies, dude.
what got me was that they had the news website's address in the screenshot. So I type it in, This is a news station in North Dakota reporting on a kangaroo attack in Tennessee.
So North Dakota's breaking news of a kangaroo attack in Tennessee where a man strangled a kangaroo to death.
Yeah.
This is an amazing news story. Continue.
From White House, Tennessee, a resident in Sumner County, Tennessee, says she was attacked by her neighbor's kangaroo.
So the neighbor has a fucking kangaroo?
Had, past tense.
True, because it was just strangled to death. I need to keep up with the story.
That's a barbecue after that, you know.
Yeah.
Kangaroo Jack's not for you.
Kangaroo is delicious.
Says she was attacked by her neighbor's kangaroo, leading to her husband killing the animal. Now, when you see that sentence, you're thinking, all right, so he shot it or something. No.
Mm-mm.
The incident unfolded Wednesday evening, so he had some Festivus grievances, most definitely. Around 5 p.m., authorities responded to the area for reports of 2 people who had been in a battle with a male kangaroo, according to Sumner County Sheriff Tim Bailey. Reportedly, neighbors spotted the kangaroo outside of its normal area, although still within the owner's property. At that time, the neighbors called the owners to see if there was any way to get the animal back to its usual confinement. The owners, Hope and Chris Leah, were not home, but told the neighbors where they could find the kangaroo's feed to lure it back into its area. Oh, hungry kangaroo, you've got food. He tried to mug you. Okay. Starting to make sense now.
Mm-hmm.
They said they would be home
Not
within
that
an
much
hour.
sense, because it's still apparently a family owned a kangaroo in Tennessee as a pet. But
They said they would be home within an hour to take care of the situation. The neighbors went on to the fenced-in property where the female neighbor was assaulted by the kangaroo. The husband then stepped in, strangling the kangaroo. Neither of the neighbors were seriously hurt, but the kangaroo died. The owners of the kangaroo said they are heartbroken over the death of their beloved Carter.
Oh, Carter. Rest in peace.
The Leahs said they returned home to find Carter dead with their younger kangaroos around his lifeless body. Oh my god!
they have more than one!
He killed him in front of his children.
They have more than one, and he strangled a kangaroo in front of the children. This is an amazing story. Please continue.
Merry Christmas
Holy
to all.
shit!
I was screaming because of all the babies were standing around his dead body, and I was just so upset, said Hope. First of all, don't name your kids Hope. They'll end up owning a kangaroo farm in Tennessee, and it'll be a bad deal.
Well,
While the
hold
kangaroo
on.
was
It hasn't
outside...
at any point said that it was a kangaroo farm. It just said that they owned a kangaroo. There's a difference.
Okay, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that this was a financial venture. That they were breeding kangaroos to sell to zoos or some shit.
I'm
Stuff
not
for meat.
doing that. I'm assuming that this is just their pet.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that it was a pet,
This is
and they
their
wanted
son.
to make more pets.
This is their pet that they failed to spay and neuter.
While the kangaroo was outside of his normal area, the Leahs say their property is entirely fenced in. Well, how high can
Well.
kangaroos jump?
Very.
How high are your fences? He didn't have nowhere to go. Oh, you gotta love that southern
Oh.
double negatives.
Mhm.
Hope said. He was choked to death in his own space. Now the Leahs say they're looking for some kind of restitution over Carter's death. You asked them to go on your property and try and lure it back into its area. We've had Carter since he was a little nugget, Hope said. It's like losing a
Aw.
family member. Oh my god, yeah, fur baby.
I don't know how I feel about people keeping exotic pets like that.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. If given the opportunity to have like a baby kangaroo, I'd at least think about it.
Okay.
Would you name your
Oh
Joey
my god,
Joey?
Johnny.
Would I name it Joey? No.
Yes. Would the Joey's name be Joey?
No, that's
Even
too
if it's a boy and Theodora if it's a girl.
that's
Hey,
too on the nose.
hold on. I think this speaks another level of when you see pictures of Australian kangaroos, they're all jacked.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, like they're
Yeah.
ripped.
Like, how do
That's
you
the
choke
thing.
out a jacked ass fucking kangaroo? That
Well,
just
first
means
of
that
all,
these Tennessee kangaroos are probably fucking scrawny as shit.
well, I mean, the one picture they've got, he does have some like kind of slumped shoulders. He's, see that's the thing. It's an American kangaroo, so you got to treat it like an American. You got to make it fat.
Yeah, he's probably eating McDonald's and shit. They're like, hey, could you feed it? And they're like, yeah, there's bags of Burger King in the front porch. Could you just toss it over to Kangaroo Jack over there?
You
We have
can't
a
you can't have
50-piece
some jack.
McNugget in the back.
You can't have some roided up kangaroo just hopping around
No.
Knoxville or some shit. No.
Otherwise, you have a Congo incident where the fucking monkeys killed Tim Rice or Tim Curry. Tim Rice? Who the fuck is Tim Rice?
I don't know. I was wondering that myself.
Yeah. Hey,
But
no,
yeah,
I'm just hungry. And
You know, for other weird stories, I know a guy on the YouTubes who decided to keep a pet lobster.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Hey, wait, hold on. I saw that YouTube video where there was somebody bought a lobster from the supermarket and they kept it as a pet. Like,
Yeah.
why'd you do that?
See,
I
Cynic and I are on the same wavelength here, right? Overfeed it so it can't jump the fence.
Yeah.
What?
Make it a
Why
fat
would-
American kangaroo.
What is the
Nobody's
purpose of
choking that thing
having
out.
They can't even get their arm around its neck.
Would you guys see that video of the kangaroo attacking a dog and the guy came out and just punched it?
Oh yeah, no, that's a great one.
I think I saw that one. Satsu played it for Lords of the Night one night.
Yeah.
Like some black dude was doing commentary. It's like what you gonna do? Call Steve? Like, the dude runs up like, oh hi Steve, and he punches him in the nose. Like, oh.
Hold on. What if these people were training these fucking kangaroos to be fighting kangaroos? Like instead of fighting dogs, you fight kangaroos.
Like the kangaroo
Yeah.
from Tekken?
Yeah, they're
If they were training it to be fighting kangaroos, they didn't train it to guard against a rear naked choke.
See, I would literally like
train it to eat for itself.
just to remind folks, the dude that they based Tiger King around was from Oklahoma. So when I say I would at least think about having a kangaroo as a pet, I ain't joking. But it would be like a home defense kangaroo.
There's
So I could literally say like hippity hoppity, get the fuck off my property.
Well, hold on.
Some boxing gloves,
Don't you bullshit. You would teach it how to grab drinks from your fridge.
Well, yeah, of course.
That's a plus.
But his first priority is checking the perimeter to make sure there's nobody trespassing. Giving me refreshments, that's number 2 on the list.
There's people training.
Yeah, I had a
chickens
chat
to
with
fight.
Terry about Kangaroo Mail, and he had to break my heart and tell me that the pouches are very moist.
Kangaroo Mail sounds like the weird Australian version of blackmail.
Right?
See, I was thinking the Pony Express,
That works as well.
I like the blackmail angle. Oi, you don't want us letting this slip out there, the pouch, eh?
Keeping everything in the pocket means something slightly different there.
I
I
mean,
don't know. I picture some Australian guy handing you your mail, and it's just super soggy.
Ew. that's
See,
not.
no, you don't have the mail kept in the pouch. You have the mailman kept in the pouch.
Oh, God.
Well, since we're talking about kangaroos and their pouches, have any of you guys seen that video of the dude who, like, there was like a baby kangaroo? Like, I don't know if it was in Australia or where it was. Probably Australia. But there's a baby kangaroo in the yard jumping around, and a dude came out dressed like a kangaroo with the pouch and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And he just kind of kneels down, opens the pouch, and the kangaroo just jumps in it.
Nice.
Nice.
I think I've seen it done, though, with that. I didn't watch the video, though.
But I was like, it was one of those like
that's adorable.
It was one of those like I think it was like a meme videos, like the chicks laying there on beds, like he's probably out cheating on me right now, and it's like him and the boys. It's like just open the pouch, baby kangaroo just hops in, cuddles up.
Nice.
I actually have a field mouse in my room hiding in one of my junk boxes.
So
They
those of
can
you
move
that,
in.
Yeah, I have a roommate now, so
for anybody wondering, Santa's in the show me state right now.
nice.
So when Santa's delivering presents, does he also have to go through intercourse in order to reach paradise, or can he just fly straight to paradise before going to intercourse?
I don't know, man. Check the map; it's on screen.
Well, I believe he has 2 tickets.
Okay.
I mean, Eddie Money's not using them anymore, so why not?
So Santa just goes up and down and up and down and up and down and up and
I'm
down.
surprised.
I mean,
I'm surprised he went straight up the middle, and then he decided I'm gonna go to the East Coast. It's like, yeah, let's go here. Well, maybe he's not delivering, and maybe he's just traveling at this point.
See, if I had worked for NORAD, I would be screwing this. I'd be screwing with people on this thing right now. Like as soon as he got to Columbia, I'd start like just zigzagging real fast. And, like, Santa's all coked up, and
he's hiding from the cartel.
Would you
well,
see?
just like speed it up real fast. Like 3x speed or whatever.
Put like a
you
little
see
poof
what,
behind the Santa. So it's like,
what Neil deGrasse Tyson said?
Oh,
said
we already
that,
talked
Yep.
about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
I'm
did he
sorry.
say?
Jeez.
What did he say?
Oh, well, please, Adam, do continue. Sora's
No, I
unawares.
don't know. Me and Sora, we
We
might be
don't
late.
need to know apparently.
Yeah, shit. We're not able to chat about this incident.
you
but,
can chat about whatever you want.
I was just telling you that we had talked about it earlier, but please give us your opinion on the matter, Adam.
Neil deGrasse and Tyson. Neil deGrasse and Tyson? Something like that. All I know is he's Mike Tyson's brother. And
Not
that's
entirely accurate.
He's the reason why Tyson lost to Buster Douglas. Yeah.
if you watch Mike Tyson Mysteries, you can see they ask him for his help. They're like, "Wait, this is your brother?"
Nice.
But yeah. Yeah, this guy said a bunch of hoopla. That's wait, what were we talking about?
Anti-Santa propaganda.
Anti-Santa propaganda. Like this guy was just going off the rails over
Yeah, all day. That's the only thing he's tweeted about all day is debunking Santa Claus.
Like nonstop.
He's
This guy's
such a
gotta be
stick in the mud. Oh my god.
unbelievable.
Like I said earlier, man, it's like it's Christmas Eve. It must be a slow day at the planetarium. Smoke a joint, look at the stars, take some shrooms, stare at Uranus, just do something else, but stay the fuck off your phone.
Well,
Just for today.
You need a
That's the
mirror for
problem.
that second one.
That's
Back
probably
to
what he
mirrors.
was doing.
Oh, come on. I thought you'd appreciate that double entendre there, Sanguine.
I do. I just figured I'd point out he'd need at least 2 mirrors.
It's a planetarium, man.
I've been hanging out with the wrong
Telescopes and
people,
meters.
but the longer I look at this map, the more I can't help thinking that Mikawawi, Chicago, one of our Great Lakes, it kind of looks like a dildo.
See, I was half expecting you to be wondering where Lake Titicaca was.
No. No.
Yeah, I think Santa already passed that one.
Listen, as a Canadian, I've already come to terms with the fact that I can only pronounce half the names of my cities and towns and
Hold on, you know what? As much as I love geography and I love my country, I still have trouble naming. What is it? Lake Superior? Is that the dildo looking one?
Like Lake Erie, Lake Superior, Lake Huron, and I don't know what the fourth one
I
is.
think that's
No.
Lake Michigan. No, that's
Lake
Michigan.
Michigan.
isn't
I
it?
never remember
By
the.
Chicago. Yeah,
Great
that's Lake
Lakes.
Michigan.
Is it Lake Michigan? I thought that was just what we call it. Just like,
I'm not wrong though, right? Like I'm not the only one who saw that. I'm like, that is such a dildo.
get out of here, Jen. You fucking dirty mind.
I mean, is that really, that big of a stretch, though? I mean, how many jokes have been made about Florida being the penis of the United States?
All the time.
Yeah. How much do you want to stretch that joke, sir?
Lots.
Oh.
The amount of times I've drawn underpants over top of the United States with like Florida being like a weird little side leg.
Wait, what? How many times did you do that?
At least 3 times.
Why?
Because
Just one?
it was funny.
Jen is easy amused,
Canadians, man. All right.
I saw a meme one time and it was enough for me. I was like, that's amusing.
No,
Let's
you
try
said
to draw
3
in a way that
times.
works.
After the first time, you're like, maybe you should double dip.
Well, you the first time you draw underpants, you go with like, regular briefs, and then the next time you draw underpants, you go with like boxers, and then you don't bother with the next picture because, well, that's obvious what
Jen,
that one's going for.
I think you're revealing a bit too much there.
No, I think
I was
I'm describing a
expecting
meme.
just a various chain of undergarments
She's,
to continue there.
she's like,
talk
once I
about,
started
like-
drawing lingerie, this
So you start with boxer, or you start with briefs, then you go to boxer briefs, then you go to boxers, then you decide to be a bit frisky and you go straight back to panties, and then you start drawing thongs, G strings, C strings.
yeah.
I was really just expecting a long string of just talking about different types of undergarments.
Now she's drawing.
No, I've never
fucking
drawn that over the
leather
U.S., but now that
straps
you've
and
mentioned it,
bindings and
Sanguine,
swings and shit.
that is a series of memes that we should start.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. I can just picture the
Jen,
United
it's Christmas
map of
time.
the
You're
United
supposed to be-
States with a thong on it.
Hold on, we're supposed to be talking about like snowmans and elves on shelves and shit. You're talking about drawing.
I'm speaking as
Laundry.
the hat of America.
Gonna need a
Their
mighty
penis.
big banana hammock to cover up Florida if you're doing that, Jen.
Let me show you my various drawings on leather bondage.
She draws a gimp soup on it,
So, Sora, I don't
That's
think you were
ball gag.
here. I don't think you were here earlier when I asked. Are you watching any Christmas movies today, or are you saving that for tomorrow?
Oh, I was muted and at the time, so I did not get to answer. But not really. Nothing was turned on at all. We didn't turn on the TV at all today. Just between prepping and the snow coming down and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. I probably won't watch anything tomorrow either. Honestly.
So, what are your guys' standard Christmas movies when you watch them?
I don't really have one, so.
For me,
Nightmare Before Christmas, I guess.
See,
And
I
Elf?
always debate whether or not that's a Christmas movie or more of a Halloween movie.
Yeah, I think it's both.
Yeah, it's a twofer.
Yeah.
Well, my list is generally see, you got Die Hard, Scrooge, Christmas Vacation, and like the Santa Claus and Jingle All the Way. That's my top 5.
Oh, Jingle All the Way. I haven't seen that in a while. It's good.
No Die Hard in that list?
That was number 1.
Yeah, you said Die Hard.
Oh, you didn't
Yeah.
say Die Hard? Okay.
Yeah, that's top of the
Let's do it.
list, man. That's the ultimate Christmas movie right there.
Nakatomi's tower is under siege right as we speak.
Yeah, there's a hostage situation. Nakatomi Flower right now.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Christmas.
For me-
go ahead. You go first.
Oh, you first. I'll go last since I was the first to ask the question.
Oh, okay. Just to go quick, Christmas for me and shows really revolve around my mom. So I try to avoid it because she always follows the Hallmark movies and they never change. The actors don't even change. The storylines don't even change. She actually kept a diary on it. because she kept track of all the movies that she was watching so that she wasn't watching reruns for the next year. And she was like, "No, I don't see any difference here." And I'm like, "Why are you still watching that, Mom?"
They started playing like Christmas movies on Hallmark before Halloween this year.
Yeah,
Really?
That's too
I'm-
early.
I'm not surprised.
Well, like when I was a kid, Christmas season didn't start until the day after Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you had your tree up, if you had any decorations done, anything like that, and don't even get me started on the Christmas music.
You were
But if you
dragged
did any
into
of
the
that
street and
before
beaten to death.
Thanksgiving, you were considered a freak.
To be honest, for us, we're not too different. Like, you might have the odd person who'll at least start the Christmas shopping first. I mean, that, you might have the odd person who's clever enough to realize that if you do that sooner, you get it done sooner.
Oh
But
yeah. You're doing your Christmas shopping. You can do that year round.
Yeah.
Trying to get deals, trying like find something that
Yeah.
family members, kids, whatever might like.
Yeah.
No problem. No problem with that at all.
But
Your
the
Christmas shopping
decorations,
whenever.
the decorations are yeah. I find most people leave it until either December. Some people might put it up after your Thanksgiving because it's just kind of a reminder. Okay, yeah, we can put it up now. And some people like it for their parties, like because up here, depending on where you are in Canada, it does get dark.
Yeah.
So Christmas lights are just kind of a nice way of having some light. But at the same time, though, you're going to be paying out your ass for it. So, LAD, all the way.
Yeah, well, I was just talking about like generally, like at least where I grew up, and generally in America, in like the 90s, we still had some culture back then.
Mhm.
But I will say favorite Christmas movie, and I know it's still technically a children's movie. I don't care. Charlie Brown for the win.
Oh, I
Not
hate
a bad one.
those so much.
Well, that's because they forced you to watch them up here.
Hold on, wait. What? You hate the Charlie Brown movie?
Wait, you're mandatory.
Yeah.
Canada
And
has
they-
mandatory
Yeah.
Charlie
Forced you to
Brown.
watch it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
They
yeah.
go to prison if they don't watch it.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's the
that-
problem on not watching
in-
Charlie Brown like?
who
I
forced
forgot
you
the
to
Grinch.
watch them?
I had to go to daycare.
Uh,
And also just the schools up here. It was just like, it was constantly everywhere. Like every
Oh, I'm
channel had it.
sorry.
It was always Charlie Brown. But I mean, out of all the
I would say, yeah, sure. It's definitely was maybe on TV, but that's what changing the channels for.
I don't
But
mind the
it's
music
just
in
the
you're
few times
younger
the
than
music's
me.
okay.
I appreciate that you're much younger than me because there was a point in time where all I had was 12 channels.
Sora living on edge,
Yeah, that
risking the Canadian tax,
Well,
or not tax,
that's
but fine for
Basically
failing
what
to
we
watch
had
Charlie
when
Brown.
we came to Canada for the first 10 or so years. We're talking about whatever you got for plugging your TV in. So
You're fine. You're
the
fine.
same thing.
It's when
But
you watch
I'm just
Charlie Brown
saying
in
it's-
French,
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that the comics are excellent, and I love them to pieces, and I collect them. But the actual, I never
I
liked
always
it animated or the voice acting or anything like that.
just wasn't your pie. I didn't
No.
hate it. I just it was one of those things because of the way. I'm not sure if it's because he passed away or it had to do with the rights, but they never got a chance to expand upon it. So it was always the same movie. I was like, I bet you he had other stuff they could have done, but yeah.
Hmm.
But it was better than the Felt movie. I didn't hate the Felt movie. It was just between being a little bit off.
Wait, a Felt movie?
Yeah, what's the Felt movie?
Rudolph, the Rudolph, the red.
Oh, the
yeah.
old school
The stop motion
The
Stop-
claymation movies?
claymation, yeah.
claymation ones.
Yeah, I always just felt that they looked like felt to me. Like I know it wasn't that material, but they looked like felt to me. I was like,
Well,
But
I'm
you have
sure they
to-
use the texture on there.
You have
Sort
to
of.
admit I'm Mr. Heat Miser.
I'm Mr. Sun.
Yep.
Yeah. I love
And-
that
yeah.
so much. Or like
Bro?
the story of is it the story of Santa Claus or something? It's the one with Burgermeister Meisterburger in it.
Yeah.
Burgermeister Meisterburger and the Heat and Cold Miser. Are
Is that where that
the
one
same
is from?
Yep.
Is it the same movie? Oh, okay, yeah, totally. That I love that as a kid.
Wait, is it
I'm-
the same movie? I thought they
I'm
were
almost positive that those are the
And
same
you
movie.
had a very like the young Santa Claus, so the big ginger strapping lumberjack.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hold on, is that the
Good
same
times.
one? Is that the same one where all of a sudden he hold on, because I think there was one where it was like a dude who was a redhead and he was part of like a German town and given toys and whatever. But I swear there was another one where they had like a council of the nature, and there was a dude who could speak to the animals, and there was a old guy with a tree for a head, and they see it's
Let's
sure
quickly look it up to the
I'm-
Googles.
to the I'm sure they but did we I didn't mean to cut into the movies that they watched. I think was it Sora explaining her movies, or was it
It
still Jen?
was
I think
Jen.
it was
It was
still
Jen.
Jen's. Yeah.
So-
yeah, I was done. Sorry,
Ah, okay.
I was distracted by things like messages.
Adam, do you want to toss in yours?
I'll let Sora go before me.
Oh, probably like I meant. I did say Nightmare Before Christmas, and then for stupid movie, I do love Elf. I just think it's one of the few times where what's his face I don't find
Will
beyond
Ferrell.
annoying. Will Ferrell, thank you. That it's like the one movie where his style of screaming comedy actually fits properly. So, and also the whole scene with Peter Dinklage is really good.
See, that's one of those movies of his I can't
Who-
stand.
Who let you out of the North Pole? Yeah, it's the kind of stupid comedy I enjoy. So that those two, but I don't really have
Okay, so I was wrong. They aren't from the same one. I got confused because the one with Burgermeister Meisterburger also has the Winter Warlock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I swear there was two different Santa Claus claymation stories.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right, there's more
Young
than two because
Santa.
there's the Santa Claus is Coming to Town, which is Burgermeister Meisterburger.
Okay.
Then there's The Year Without a Santa Claus, which is the Heat Miser and Cold Miser.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then there was
Rudolph?
Santa Claus and the Broken Toys, I think. And then there was the Rudolph one.
Because there's Rudolph and the Island of Misfit Toys.
Yep.
With Hermes the dentist
The
elf and
dentist?
Yukon
Yeah.
Cornelius.
Now hold on. Are all these Rankin Bass? Because the
Yes, these are all
Burgermeister and-
Rankin Bass.
Okay.
Yeah, Rankin Bass pumped out a bunch of the
They were super.
quintessential
Yeah.
Santa Claus claymations.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really popular. I mean,
They still are.
They were
Hey,
like
you know
this-
what?
yeah.
They did a good job of making Lord of the Rings and Return of the King. So
Well, as a kid, I used to like the Wallace and Gromit shows.
When there's a whip,
yeah, dude, I had that song playing. Where there's a whip, bum, 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 there's a whip. Doop, doop, doop.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I remember the ever-living hell out of those. Those were fantastic.
Nice.
The last unicorn one was also decent.
Oh, I love that.
I read the book. It was a pretty good book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read the book. I saw the cartoon for it, and then I actually got to hear the author of the book read part of the book as well, live. And he has the greatest listen to grandfather tell us story voices.
Nice. Well, so far, I only found one movie that's better than the book, and that's Howl's Moving Castle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't even aware that there was a book for that one.
Yeah.
Diana Wayne Jones is the author. She has a weird writing style.
Yeah.
She has
Okay.
a series of books called The Wizards of Castromancy or something like that. Anyway, it's a series of sequels / same universe type books,
Mhm.
and some standalones that are just very odd. Howl's Moving Castle is one of the more mild of her writing styles. But I'm with you on this one, Jason. I prefer the movie.
Yeah.
It was good. Are you okay, Sora? Did they poke your nose?
Oh no, I have a cold. If it sounds like I am very nasally, sorry about that. I do actually have a cold.
Oh, they made me
Okay,
poke my
so-
nose anyway. I had a cold too, but they made me poke my nose.
Oh, I'm not going to the doctor. Are you freaking kidding me? I don't need a test. I have no symptoms of COVID. So I'm pretty sure I already had it 2 years ago. So
You know, I
I'm
have some
learning a lot about
family
Canada
living out in
this-
Poconos.
Yeah, I learned a lot about Canada this stream, considering I now know that there's the failure to watch Charlie Brown Christmas Finds, as well as apparently they poke your nose if you have the sniffles.
Mm-hmm. Also,
See,
I had to point out to Sora that I see flaws in this plan because I live in Canada. So
Uh-huh.
if the object of the game is to get snot from my nose so that they can test for COVID, why aren't they just sticking me outside with a vial? Because I can give you lots of snot. Give me like 10 minutes and -23. Lots and lots and
Or
lots
like-
of snot.
blow some pepper up your nose, you know?
Right?
Just make you start sneezing, and then there you go.
It's just there's more pleasant ways to get it out.
Do they
See,
not
this-
do the spit test? Because like I know here you can go get the spit test done.
No, it was
in
Hold
a
just
on,
couple
that
of
hold on,
places.
Jen. That's implying that they are willing to do it pleasantly.
no.
Oh,
They
okay.
just want the sample. They don't give
So-
a shit.
The reason I wouldn't go is because right now you're looking at a 5-hour wait
Oof.
in line for a
Yeah.
test in a couple of places. So the places are still doing them. They're still open over the holiday season because a lot of labs have shut down and will be closed until the new year. So if you were to go to the couple places that are still doing them or still are doing the PCR testing if you're trying to travel, which now is like what, 24 hours before you go or something like that,
Yeah, yeah.
you're looking at one particular place that is the main hub. It's a car lineup. I think it was on Thursday it was 8 blocks, and today was a 5-hour wait.
Jeez.
So I'm like, you know what? And the problem is that you see people online panicking. It's just like you hear it's the stupid people. Oh, my girlfriend woke up and she's like just not feeling herself, so we're gonna go in line and get a COVID test.
Hmm.
Really?
Mm,
Yeah,
mhm.
you asshole. Like that's not what that's for.
I mean, I had to do it for work.
End of
So-
the year? No, but I mean this
Yeah.
this has nothing to do with because of work mandate for work or anything. It's just like, oh yeah, they woke up and
Yeah.
sniffles. That's the only reason. It wasn't because like, oh, it's part of my job. I have to do this. They mandate it or whatever. No,
what
no,
I
no.
think's hilarious is that I spent almost a month and a half in hospital with Nana Camel,
Yeah.
and neither of us were given a COVID test or anything.
Oh,
I mean, just sitting there 24 hours a day, didn't even get offered.
I mean, to be fair, it wasn't the Q-tip looking thing. It was just like a little plastic piece of plastic with a flap on it.
the way that Camel said that, did it sound like to anyone else like he was going, it would have been nice to at least have been considered?
Well, no. I
Yeah.
find it humorous.
The offer.
I find it humorous that we were there for, like I said, month and a half. They didn't even offer one, considering the first night she was there, they had her on the COVID ward.
Mm.
And you just said she was.
seeing-
You said
hearing
she was
of-
a SEAL, too.
You're saying,
Well,
Sora?
but also hearing some of the things that you and her and Nana Camel had to go through at that particular hospital, I'm not surprised. They don't sound like it was top. They were all
Yeah.
working on firing pistons. You know what I mean?
They weren't all pulling the same way, as it were.
Uh-huh.
We pretty much had to deal with the not ready for prime time players.
That being said, it could be just one of those things where maybe they had a low count of tests, and since you were there already with her and not exhibiting any symptoms, and she wasn't exhibiting symptoms, maybe they're like, you know what, we're just gonna hope and pray that they're not sick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
See,
know.
the best way is not getting the numbers up is not testing people. Then, you know.
Yeah, but then it's so with a lot of hospitals right now, especially with the COVID, it's
Mhm.
pretty messy. Hey, real quick, you fine Kanatastani folks. What is that lake that Santa just passed over?
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
What is that?
Just south of Manitoba, or
Manitoba? Yeah, what is that? Over Winnipeg?
Oh.
I don't know. I can look it up.
Oh shit!
I'm not
And
from
then
my province.
you know what?
You know what that is? That's probably
That's not my
Mesquite-
province.
Mosquito Lake because
Lake
that's
Winnipeg.
Oh,
Lake.
Lake Winnipeg. There you go.
There you go. Murderpeg.
That's easy.
That's
Where's
where they.
the Great
That's where they.
Slave
Bury
Lake?
That's where they bury all the bodies.
Great
Hold
Lakes
on.
are back over here.
Well,
No,
hey,
it's
you know what?
Italy.
You were giving us
Somewhere
shit
in-
for not being able to name the fucking Great Lakes. There you go. What is that lake? Canada.
I bet you there's somebody from Manitoba who's giving me the finger right now. What's
That's-
this about Lake Mosquito? I'm like, you know what I'm talking
That's my
about.
favorite lake out there. I like to fish out there. Don't you know? That's
Lake
the best lake
Blackfly.
out there. We call that Lake Blackfly.
I go out
I'm-
there with my auger every year, and I drill a hole in the ice, and then I just
Whoa,
throw a
dude!
line
You
down
just
it.
roboted the fuck out. Did anybody else? Was
No.
that roboted
No.
for anybody else?
No,
just on
no,
your
he was
end.
fine.
Was this me? Oh
Yeah.
shit!
No.
Clearly, I was doing a robot Canadian voice.
Oh, that's spot on.
I just don't know that they get necessarily that cold for ice fishing, though. You know, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I don't necessarily know
I
that
would
they're
probably-
the place to do that.
No,
Well, considering
I
it's
would
only
say
like 10
probably-
degrees in Bismarck, North Dakota right now, I would
Ice
imagine.
fishing where I am, yeah.
That's pretty warm. 10 centigrade?
Fahrenheit. Freedom units. I was talking about North Dakota.
Be more specific.
We do
Right.
this.
The
It's still
north
not that
is
bad.
of North
Well,
Dakota.
I said it was 10 degrees in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Oh.
You
That's
gotta.
Know your
best
country.
explanation. The
You
best
gotta-
explanation for how the temperatures work that I've ever heard is the Fahrenheit scale is based off of how humans feel. So at 100 degrees, that's fairly warm. At 0 degrees, that's fairly cold.
Yeah.
The Celsius
Yeah.
scale is based off of how water feels. At 100 degrees, that is really warm. At
I-
0 degrees, that's cold. It
Yeah.
doesn't really apply to people that well.
No,
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from, but I still prefer.
It's also that not every lake is created equal in terms of ice fishing because the lakes that you're looking at also have a fairly deep sea depth. And deep
Hold on,
sea
Jen.
depth
Why are you
lakes tend
discriminating
to
against
be-
ice
be-
fishing
be-
lakes?
because water that moves tends to not freeze the same as small
Oh,
lakes.
okay.
So,
So active
Yeah.
lakes are suddenly different from stable
yes, they
lakes?
are. One
Yes, they are.
one will leave
Perhaps
you
these
in a
stable
hole.
lakes want to be
One will
you
leave
know,
you in a hole with no fish, and one leaves you up top of a hole with still
Oh,
no fish because you
speaking-
have to fish first.
Speaking of North Dakota, we'll be going there shortly. In 2
Oh, yeah?
minutes.
Okay.
Look at
That should be
that.
fun.
I'm not saying I know anything about these lakes. I'm just saying that like I don't know the depths on them. Like you can't just go to a lake and assume that you can go ice fishing on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of ice fishing near where I am.
Yeah, I mean that could actually be a thing. Like I'm just saying, like the lakes I'm looking at that Mr. Adam was talking about. I'm like,
Hey, you know what? Weren't you the first one to say? I don't even know what province that is. Get out of here, in general.
because I didn't know what lake you were talking about. You're like, oh, which lake is that? And I'm like,
There's only one lake.
no, there's not.
Oh wait,
Look
yeah.
at this
there's
map.
one
There's so
right
many
next to
lakes
it.
on it.
Canada's all lakes, it looks
Those
like.
are all in America. Oh my god.
Like what? Which lake?
Oh,
big
your
one.
Oh,
lakes
you know
are
that
belong
one.
to us
Oh,
now.
you know
Slightly
the
in the
big
middle.
one. Like the big one. Okay, which big one?
Oh, it's
Uh,
wonderful.
Bye
Would
bye,
you like
Goose
me to
Girl.
talk about that mountain that he went over too? Because I can tell you about. No, I can't actually. I really can't. I don't know shit about that mountain.
I don't know. I think it'd be more apropos
Oh wait, this
to
is
say like the
Saskatchewan. I'm sorry.
plains.
There's
We're
no
we're
mountains
leaving
in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, what mountains?
You're right. I was like, "Where's Santa?" Oh shit! Never mind.
No, you think it's a mountain? It's just a slightly tall molehill. Maybe a little
Hey.
ant farm somewhere.
Yeah, don't
No,
make a
that-
mountain out of a molehill, you know.
Exactly.
That's how we feel out in Illinois. So don't.
Is that so flat you see tomorrow as well?
Yeah, we don't got shit.
Only in Illinois, it's a slightly different thing. It isn't a molehill that's being mistaken as a mountain. It's just a dead body.
Oh God!
I was
Oh,
gonna
look
say
at those
corn
bumps
stalks,
out in the
yeah.
distance.
That's where the Chicago bodies go. Just ignore them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I-
Everybody else
I-
does.
Is
those
he
aren't
not
hills. Those
going
are burial
to?
grounds.
Is he gonna keep going? Is Santa still going west?
I think he's going up and down.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
he's
some
going up
reason,
and
Santa
down with
Claus
the-
really likes to stick to the time zone.
He's also a Nord, so there's a good chance he's been having the booze us.
The thing is that he's not sticking with the time zone because it isn't Christmas yet where
No.
I am. And he's already past me.
yeah.
Well, it's like
Have-
7
have you-
more minutes.
Have you checked your cookies?
He
That
does
son
seem
of
to
a
be going
bitch
up and
stole
down.
my cookies while I'm sitting in my apartment and didn't even say hi.
At least he's listening to take your beer, you know.
He zoomed in like Sonic. He was like, "Haha, I got your cookies." And zoomed out.
Oh, and by the way, because this is the first time me drinking the Odin's Skull.
That's a pretty
If
cool name,
you
though.
like apple pie, Odin's Skull is very apple pie.
Nice.
It tastes like apple pie.
Yeah, because it has kind of like that tart Granny Smith type acidity to it,
Nice.
With-
Sounds nice.
cinnamon.
Ooh.
Then the hops add a slight bitter note, which kind of works as like a very light nutmeg flavor as well.
Nice. I was gonna ask that if it had nutmeg in it.
And then since it's a mead, it's a honey wine, so that adds a little bit more sweetness. So it ends up tasting like apple pie, which is
Nice.
really making me want vanilla ice cream to go with it.
You can make a what is it?
I know what I
Skull
can
float.
do. I know what I can do to balance out the flavor, and it'll just be an alcoholic version of it. I don't have any ice cream on me. I do have Bailey's.
You know
Oh,
what
nice.
I'm most looking forward to
Yes.
for Christmas?
Your two front teeth.
No. There's
Seeing
only
Mama
24
kissing Santa
hours
Claus.
and 5 minutes left of that annoying ass Christmas music on the radio.
That I can agree
The
with
Mariah
because I
Carey?
work in retail.
So help me God, if I turn on my classic rock station when I get in the car on Sunday,
Wait, classic
And
rock has Christmas music on it?
Ooh.
yes.
Hold on,
I
hold on.
have
hold
a
on.
new earworm for you, Sanguine.
Uh-oh.
It's absolutely terrible, but I have it on my YouTube. I'm pretty
Go
sure
for it.
I can find it for you.
Oh, bless
I
you.
don't know if it's copyrighted, but I suspect it's from the 50s, so I don't think so.
Nope, that would still be under copyright because
Let me
in
check.
order for it to have fallen out of copyright, it has to be from the 20s or earlier.
Let me check it then. Let me just check it.
Hold on. So last Christmas, I left.
I gave you my heart.
Oh shit.
Oh God, no.
And the very next day, he gave it away.
That bastard. Adam, how could you?
I'm not gonna lie. I actually had to talk to my neurologist about this.
Well, if you want a different song stuck in your head, I can really quickly sort that out.
No,
By
it's
just
not.
saying- The
It's-
coconut nut is not a nut.
He said it's a
God
trigger
damn
music.
See, my go-to whenever I'm trying to get an earworm out of my head is I replace it with another earworm.
Yeah, that's what I
But one
just
that I
did
like.
for Sora.
Well, see, my standard
Though I'm
go-to
not sure if
ones.
it's one that she likes.
My standard go-to ones are either the Team America theme song
Mm-hmm.
or I like Big Butts.
Nice.
They're good ones. Solid choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the one that I went for there is the Coconut Song, which, if you've never heard the Coconut Song, give a
Coconut
listen to
Song.
the Coconut Song at some point.
See,
I don't think I know
give
that
it-
one.
we've been through this before, Sanguine, but every time you bring up the coconut song, I always think of you put the lime in the coconut.
Oh, that's another really good one.
That's probably a better coconut song.
I don't know. Where
Yeah,
else
no,
will
yeah,
you
actually-
learn that it's the cocoa fruit? It's the cocoa fruit.
Hold
from
on.
the cocoa tree, from the cocoa tree, from the cocoa palm family.
I'll tell you because it's a like 2-line. Put the lime in the coconut. That's all you need. The other one is a history lesson.
No, because you put the lime in the coconut and drink it all up. You put the lime in the coconut and drink it all up. You said, "Doctor, can you tell me what to do?" I said, "Doctor, to relieve this Fiji flu."
Do 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 do.
All right.
See, I have too many of these songs stuck in my head constantly. I know the actual fucking words to them.
Hey, and don't say the wrong words because you'll get called out on that. Apparently, it's do you bless the rains down in Africa as
Mhm.
opposed to do you miss the rains?
And
And
Jen, I'll probably pull that up after the stream so that we can all enjoy it
Sure.
after the stream,
Yep, sure.
just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, I actually think you should, just because her name looks like it's probably. Yeah. I
Whose
mean,
name?
I kind of thought it being on the radio would make it. Yeah, but
Nope, radio play does not help at all.
that's okay. I can at least plague 4 of you with it.
But yeah, I just have a bunch of songs that stick in the head really easy. Like, have you guys ever heard Cigarettes and Whiskey?
No.
That's one that I'll plague you guys with after this.
Okay.
Well, as long as it's like I said, most of the radio stations in my area are country music stations.
Mhm.
Oldies, country, pop country from today, what have you. I have one local classic rock station, and for this whole past month, since Thanksgiving, pretty much, they've been playing rock bands doing Christmas covers, like at least once or twice an hour,
Mhm.
and sometimes even more so.
I actually don't listen to the radio anymore. I just put up Pandora.
Oh, and update, since I said I know what to do. Drink some Baileys with this.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
Nice.
hey, let me just put it out there. Do not listen to Paul McCartney's Christmas because he's talking about fucking satanic bullshit.
Oh, really?
And you know how I feel about Paul McCartney, so let's
Oh, he's been dead since the 60s.
that's right. 100% correct since 66. We can argue that. At Christmas time, isn't that the one?
But no,
Family
man,
comes over, we all
that
eat dinner.
that local radio station playing those. I don't want to hear Bono singing about our white Christmas or Queen, playing Jingle Bell Rock. I want to hear the songs they actually fucking wrote.
Also, somehow I feel like if Bono's talking about a white Christmas, he's talking about a different sort of white Christmas.
Yep.
Well, I don't remember exactly which song that they played from U2. It may not have been White Christmas, but still, it's obnoxious hearing, rock bands doing Christmas covers.
Also,
this is my one escape from country music hell.
Also, Bono's charity is about as bad as the Clintons' charity when it comes to how much money actually gets to where it's supposed to go.
Well, that's why he's number 2.
And I still just love the story from one of his performances in Scotland.
Oh, yeah. Please do tell. I
For
get
those-
that one all the time.
For those who don't know, so Bono is a annoying, moralizing prat whenever he speaks. He can sing. I won't take that away from him. He's an annoying, moralizing prat the rest of the time. And he likes to include his moralizing platitudes into his actual performances. So he's in Scotland, and he just starts clapping his hands. And after a few moments of clapping his hands, he says, "Every time I clap my hands, a child in Africa starves to death."
Oh God.
So one of the Scots immediately yells back, "Stop clapping your hands, then you get." So every time I think Bono, I just get in the back of my head, "Stop clapping your hands, you get."
Well, see, every time I think of Bono, I always think of the South Park episode. Bono want the biddy? Does Bono want the biddy?
And
Hold
back.
on. Speaking of South Park, isn't
Welcome
Bono the biggest number 2?
Yeah, that's that episode.
Uh,
The guy, Randy, ends up taking like the biggest shit in the world, and Bono doesn't want to. He's got to have that record as well. He's got to be number 1 in everything because he was actually a number 2.
Oh, and since you guys each answered your Christmas movies, or Useless, did you get a chance?
I don't really watch Christmas movies.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'll be right back again.
Okay.
Not a problem.
Hey, I didn't get.
You
a
didn't
chance
answer
to-
yours? Adam,
No.
then you go on.
Yeah, we've been wildly off track.
I gave
What
my
do you-
That
spot.
happens.
I did the the old gentlemanly white knight type of. It's so gross. I hate having to.
You were
just-
being a gentleman and let the ladies go first.
Yeah, I let
Yeah.
Sora go before me. Thank you.
You're being chivalrous. Only not the majority of the chivalric code, because there was very little killing people in the proper way. But the other portion of the chivalric code, the one that most people talk about when they talk about chivalry.
Anyway, Adam, your Christmas movies.
Yes.
Well, I mean, in terms of that, I would say that's my home style pervasion. I can't say that word, but when I'm on the field, yeah, fuck that. I'm Shock Knight. we're charging in wholeheartedly.
Yep.
In terms of what Christmas movies did I watch as a youngster? Does it have to? It's not regulated to.
It's not
movies.
just as a youngster. It is what Christmas movies / shows really say Christmas to you.
See, I have a few movies that are cartoon shows that I have to watch. So
Mhm.
like tomorrow when I wake up, I have to watch at least some of the. I think it's Silly Symphonies or
Yep.
Looney Tunes, but it's I think it's Silly Symphonies, the Disney bit where it's Santa working in his workshop, getting everything ready for Christmas. Tonight,
Mm-hmm.
and there's another one. I think it's along the same lines, but it's it's just more Christmas cartoony stuff. And then I have to watch, of course, the Rake and Bass,
Mm-hmm.
and the even the cartoon Snowman. I think it's Rake and Bass. I can't remember who made
I think
the
it
animated.
is.
Yeah, the one where he happy birthday.
Yeah, the Frosty the Snowman ones.
Yeah. Yeah, was that Rake and Bass?
I think all of those old school Christmas claymations were all Rankin Bass.
The only one that isn't, that I would watch, and I'm probably gonna watch it right as soon as we fucking jump off here because I need to hear it, is
Mhm.
the fucking California Raisins
Yep.
claymation. That is fucking awesome. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's fucking beautiful.
Mhm.
The ornament scene is kind of weird for me. I think it's like a tree, like ornament tree or something like that. It's weird. It's a weird thing, but the whole thing is artistically is fucking beautiful. It's wonderful to watch.
I used to have VHS tapes, the California Raisins, back in the day. I haven't thought about them in so long, man. I'm going to go dig up some California Raisin stuff now. Thanks, Adam.
Yeah.
Well-
And by the way, Merry
And that was not a sarcastic thanks either. That's a genuine thanks for reminding me, dude.
No, yeah, that's
Go-
hey.
go
Everyone
scroll down
in
memory lane.
Central Standard Time or earlier. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's
Yay,
also
Happy
the,
Xmas.
we hit the
I am back.
midnight mark.
Yep. So
Yeah, no,
Oh.
for random questions for you, Mr. Adam. Do we know anybody in Kansas?
I
I don't know. Do you?
Nope.
I don't know,
Well,
but
why-
Santa's about to hit Tulsa in 37 seconds.
Woo.
Hell, what are you
They're
going?
going
You
back
kind
on
of saying we're going to
Sanguine
Oz or
again.
something like that?
Didn't
I-
they
Told me
go
a
over
TikTok.
Missouri?
Sanguine.
Mhm.
Well, I had to step away. I brought back with me a bit of a sniff of something.
Ooh.
So I
A
have
sniff or something.
with me a Lagavulin
Nice.
single Islay malt whiskey, 16-year-old.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yo.
Yeah, Lagavulin is really good.
I like them peaty and smoky,
Yep.
and this is up there.
If you like it, Petey, then have you had Lefroy?
So, Sora, can you marry me now? Like, can I propose now, or is this awkward? This is awkward,
Yeah.
right?
It's
I don't have
I
a
think you
ring.
need to get a bottle of
Wait,
whiskey
okay.
first.
So if you're gonna do this,
No, I
I
want that bottle,
expected
though.
Christmas morning.
Oh, well, isn't it?
Well,
the
I mean,
morning?
technically it is Christmas morning here in the
Yeah,
Central
there you
Time
go.
Zone.
Oh, I
Well,
guess
it
so.
depends
Okay,
on
go.
what time zone she's in.
Hold on, just give me a second. I'll forge a ring out of these. What have I got here? Napkins and
But
shit.
Adam, would you be able to bear my love of onions?
Nope. No, God damn it!
See,
would you be
I
willing?
I couldn't enter into this union. It would be a fraud.
Would
Sora,
you be
for a
willing?
moment there, I
Onions?
thought you were going to make it go really weird when you said, "Would you bear?" And I thought you were going to say, "Would you bear my children, Adam?"
Yeah, I was
Adam?
a little bit like, wait, what?
Nice.
Adam, would you be willing to enter into a Russian slap fight contest to win her hand?
That is the real question because you're right, Camo. My heart has been stolen
Yeah, by food,
I,
you know.
I would go into Russian slap fight with Zangief
by a
over
6
eating
foot,
onions.
300-pound adorableness of a Russian slap fighter.
Yeah, no, the moment she was like, "Yeah, do you want to eat onions?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Sora, I'm no
man.
longer 300 pounds. I've lost weight.
Oh, that's excellent.
I gained weight.
Sanguine didn't see mine and Johnny's streams with the Russian slap fights, apparently.
No, I didn't.
Well,
use that one too.
it's no fault of your own because those all got claimed and taken down. I think.
All of them? Oh,
I know Johnny kept getting claims on them. Somebody kept claiming the footage.
Is the dude the one dude with the beard that kind of looked like an Action Bronson lookalike?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's that guy. But like he was slapping fools unconscious,
Oh yeah,
Jeez.
and
that dude had an arm.
well, so like we try to mix it up, like we just anywhere where life is cheap, we try and find slap fight videos from those places.
Mm-hmm.
And it still didn't work. Like there's one, I'm pretty sure we watched like a Haitian dude get slapped to death. Because like it was one of those things where like he got hit, he just went like he just dropped and it was like stiff as a board.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we just watched a dude die.
Yeah, the Russian slap fight videos are amazing.
We watched one where it was like a couple black chicks in Compton, like in a boxing ring.
Oh, jeez.
Just taking turns. Like they had baby powder and everything too.
Isn't that just a standard cat fight with baby powder?
No, like this chick literally got her weave slapped off.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that a standard cat fight with baby powder?
I do not want to be.
Well, no, because they were taking turns. They're one slap
so
each.
they're taking turns.
They were
Difference.
I don't want to be like good-looking man. I want to be like bitch who fight bear in woods.
No, it's I don't want to be strong like man.
like
I want
man.
to be strong like bitch that fights bear in forest.
Well, see, neither
Bear
one
in
of
the
you got it
woods.
exactly correct.
No, we didn't.
Bear
Hey,
in the
you know
woods.
what?
I do not want to be strong like man who's pretty. I want to be strong like bitch that fights bears in the forest.
I want to
Yes,
be
that's
strong
right.
like man who bites into onions raw and
What you
survives.
You don't like an
That's
apple?
not that difficult.
Get out of
It depends on the
That's
type
why
of
our
onion that
marriage
you
will
use.
never work, Adam.
here.
We have
No
too
one-
many fundamental differences.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it depends
sorry to
entirely
suffer a
on the
therapist.
type of onion that you're using for that. If you're using a Maui sweet or a Mayan sweet, yeah, you can bite into one of those. If you're talking
Hold on,
a
why is it gotta be an
Spanish yellow,
exotic?
Well, sweet
if you're
onion's
talking
different.
a Spanish yellow and you take a chomp out of a Spanish yellow, there might be something wrong with you.
Yeah, it's tasty.
Yeah, probably because I don't understand Spanish.
I don't think it helps if you speak Spanish.
So if the
Can't hurt.
tuna, okay, what language does the tuna speak to you, Adam? Does it speak American to you? Because I'm a little worried for you. Like when you go to McDonald's and the cow's like moo.
Whoa, hold on. I don't think there's
Wait,
too many.
What McDonald's are you going to? Pick your own
Yeah.
cow. Make
If
your
you're going to McDonald's and the cow is saying moo,
I think the cow's
obviously
saying, "Help me."
undercooked your burger.
Yeah.
Does Canada have really fresh McDonald's? Is that
I
the...
wish. That'd be nice.
Hold on, but we gotta remember, Jen is apparently at a different province than Sora. So I mean, Jen didn't even know there's a lake in Canadistan. So
Oh, I knew there was a lake. I just didn't know the name of the lake that you were talking about because I didn't know what lake you were
it's
talking
only
about.
one
and it didn't-
lake.
And then honestly, it didn't say it on the map, and I'm lazy that way. I'm like, I know there's I know there's lakes in Manitoba.
Okay, so
I
what
just don't
kind
know
of
which ones are
McDonald's are you
which.
talking about?
Only thing I know about Manitoba is there's Churchill, Manitoba, and that's where the polar bears go.
Hold on, Sora, that's great information, but I want to know what Jen is talking about in terms of McDonald's.
Well, I'm just saying that like if the onions are speaking to you, like if
Well,
what
they
other
don't
animals
speak to me because I don't eat them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And clearly, if the onions spoke a language, it would be French.
Because I mean, I'm just saying, you think that the yellow Spanish onions speak Spanish, so like I'm wondering what the tuna speaks and what does the McDonald's
Oh
speak?
well, you know what? I don't speak Spanish and I don't speak French, so either way, these onions ain't speaking to me. All I know is I look at them like, yeah, that's not for me.
I just imagine they
But-
all sound like Sebastian from The Little Mermaid.
What if the onions are so poor that they can't even afford a language? All they have is a stupid accent. She's right, you know. We all talk like Maurice Chevalier. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, shit. And they'd probably eat cheese and shit. You know what? That's probably why there's a whole bunch of these fucking onion eaters out in Minnesota and Wisconsin. That makes a whole lot of sense.
No,
Onion and cheese.
Oh, yeah, with cheese, they're fantastic. But Minnesota and Wisconsin's a shit ton of Norse.
Oh, well, yeah, well. We don't talk
Norse
about
and
them.
Germanics.
Like, this is one of those moments where I suspect I was taking somebody watching Veggie Tales too seriously.
Adam, did you have any additional Christmas cartoons, movies, or anything like that you wanted to add?
Oh, shit. Yeah, we're still talking about this, right?
Yes, I remember what the original conversations are as we go on all the branches.
Every branch. We had every branch. I think there's more branches on the way down.
Yep.
But in terms of Christmas stuff, you know, honestly, like I said, it's not so much the like the Rake Bass or the because I think there was even like a Chuck Jones cartoon that was put out there for Christmas. It's not so much that it's the smaller cartoons that I recall in terms of Christmas, and I think that's more so where I fall on it. But you know, I'm always welcome to watch the bigger stuff, and I think as soon as I figure out how I can watch Die Hard without having to pay for it, I'm gonna watch Die Hard.
For me, Die Hard is always high on the list. One movie, or one thing that I'm not sure how many of you guys have seen. How many have you seen the Jeremy Brent Blue Carbuncle?
Nope. Never have.
Nope.
Do you guys know
Most
who
likely.
Jeremy Brent is?
No.
The Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, he is the best
The
Sherlock Holmes.
I'm gonna say yes because they showed all of that like every Sunday. So
Yep.
at some point in my childhood, I'm sure I've seen it.
And Sora, since you've seen the Jeremy Brent, are you in agreement with me that he is the best Sherlock Holmes, not just because of his portrayal, but because his Watson was not a fucking idiot? Because that's
both
the
of them
that drove me crazy about all the other. Yeah, that was the thing that drove me crazy about all the other Sherlock Holmes, up until there's been a couple that have managed to have an intelligent Watson since.
Well,
But
it's his Watson was an excellent portrayal of a normal, intelligent person because he was a physician.
Yep.
And a soldier, ex-soldier, who was basically chasing around his this friend who's much more brilliant than anybody else. So I would agree with you. He definitely was not portrayed as an idiot, just as a normal person trying to catch up. And he wasn't. It was never done. There was any poking fun was done lighthearted and never maliciously.
And there were even moments where Sherlock would legitimately ask Watson for his professional opinion, which is almost never done in any of the other Sherlock Holmes, which is infuriating because in the actual books, Sherlock Holmes would consult Watson because Watson was a doctor. So if he was looking at an injury and going, okay, is this actually something that tracks with what this is supposed to be? He would ask Watson, is this injury at all possible with what they're saying? And Watson would go, yes or no. And the Jeremy Brent, he had an intelligent Watson. And he had a Watson that at a couple times, especially there's a great example of it in the Blue Carbuncle, where Watson realizes that he can, in some small way, get a one-up on Sherlock. So, at one point, Sherlock Holmes, in order to get information out of someone, says that he had a bet with Watson that this bird didn't come from this vendor. There's no way that this bird came from this vendor. It's too fine a bird. And the vendor, in indignation, goes, no, that bird did come from me. In fact, I can pull up my ledgers and I can fucking show you where it came from. Here it is. And he showed it. And Watson immediately turned to Sherlock, realizing that the entire time Sherlock has been saying that he made a bet with Watson. And Watson goes, pay up. And actually makes Sherlock Holmes pay him the money in front of the man. Because he realized that Sherlock Holmes just fucked up somehow because he just made it so that I can demand money from him without him being able to have any recourse in order to maintain his face.
Well, talk about Holmes. I watched this TV series not too long ago called The Irresponsibles. And they made Watson a gay black guy.
The Irresponsibles or the Irregulars?
Maybe the Irregulars or something.
Because it'll
be
the Baker Street Irregulars.
Oh,
It was the one with the kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't
I didn't
bad, but it
watch.
wasn't great.
I didn't really watch that one. It wasn't it slightly paranormal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't end up watching it.
Yeah, that's like doing Scooby-Doo. This is one of the problems that I have with a lot of the Scooby-Doo movies. Because the entire point of the Scooby-Doo cartoons was shit wasn't real.
Mm-hmm.
It was always something that could be explained by purely natural phenomenon.
It was always Old Man Jenkins.
Yeah, it was always Old Man Jenkins, or the person that had the most to gain from it. It was always someone that you would be able to explain how they did everything and what the rationale behind it. But the Scooby-Doo movies far too often had, no, there's actual zombies.
Yeah.
No, there's actual ghosts. And I'm going, that's entirely counter to the rest of it. The Scooby-Doo movies would have been great had it not been for the Scooby-Doo TV show.
I mean, they would have been great if they had someone other than Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar, but okay.
Oh, I'm not saying the live actions. I'm saying the Scooby-Doo movies in general. Because there's
He's not wrong, though.
Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it would make sense to have the ghost if it was a crossover with, like, Casper or something. I could see that. Being a
Scooby
one-off.
Natural.
You know, like
We've
a
already had
one-off.
the greatest Scooby crossover.
Right? But most of the actual Scooby movies did have that crossover. Like, I remember my favorite one was the monster one. But, I mean...
Oh, are you talking about the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo?
Yeah. But, I mean, most of the Scooby movies were legit like that. But the live action I didn't bother watching just because it screamed of garbage. And, yeah.
It was fun garbage, though. And I do have to admit, I did have a massive crush on Sarah Michelle Gellar because fuck yeah, Buffy.
I just wish she'd get over Buffy.
I'm
No.
sorry, I never watched the Buffy TV series.
Yeah, I watched a few episodes, never got into it.
As far as I was concerned, there was one Buffy Summers, and that was played by Christy Swanson.
Yeah, the movie Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw that, so.
Oh, it's
The movie was
it's
fun,
ve-
and the
it's-
television series was fun.
Okay.
It was really, I really liked that movie, especially the main bad guy's henchman vampire and his
Paul
overdramatic death.
Rubens is a vampire. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It takes forever to die.
Nice.
There's a reason why there's a cult following for it. I mean, the TV show was good too, but I mean, there was a lot of elements that kind of drew me away from it, and then it became boring. Like it did become boring after like season 3, 2.
See, in my opinion,
Hold on. Do you think this was like an early test run for the SJW type bullshit.
No.
No, because
No.
it would actively combat a fair chunk of that. In my opinion, seasons 1, 2, 3,
Mhm.
probably the best Buffy.
Mhm.
Season 4 had some highlights, but it was really up and down from episode to episode,
Mhm.
where some episodes were ranked in the best Buffy episodes in my mind. Other episodes were absolute shit.
Mhm.
Season 5 was much more consistent and was better than season 4, but not quite 1, 2, 3. Season 6 was probably up with 1, 2, 3. Season 7 was a decent end. It wasn't spectacular, but it was a solid end that allowed Buffy to end before it became, okay, what are you going to try to one-up this time?
Mhm.
So, Assassin says in chat that Josh Whedon ruined movie dialogues. Every character talks in quips instead of communicating.
I think that's why I enjoyed the Buffy movie. It's because he didn't. He said that the studios made it more campy and whatnot, and that's
Mhm.
why he wanted to do the TV series.
Yep.
So like I'll give the TV series Buffy fans, I'll give them their break. It's like, all right, that's more of his more true to his vision of the character. Okay, fine, whatever. But I enjoy the campy schlock of Paul
Oh, yeah.
Rubin's
Yeah.
over exaggerated death and everything.
I gotta watch that thing just to see that.
Like I said, effectively the entire time that I was doing that when it was first mentioned,
That's about how
is
long it takes.
consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also
the
they didn't have
pauses
Rutger
that I
Hauer
took-
in the series, so
Mhm.
like
No-
he was
well,
in the movie.
Was he a master or whatever?
Yeah, he's the one that taught
yeah.
Buffy the way of the vampire slaying.
Mhm. Though I will say one of the best Buffy episodes, in my opinion, just because they at no point cast Buffy for singing ability, but then they had a
The
musical
episode, that was a good episode.
where
Yes.
fucking everyone apparently has a goddamn set of pipes on them. Good God damn.
Actually, the musical one in Scrubs. That was pretty good episode too.
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Assassin's correct me. That was Donald Sutherland. Why am I thinking of Rutger Hauer then?
He was so okay.
He
I
was
was
the
right.
master
So was the
vampire,
master.
yes.
So master vampire.
Oh, he was the master vampire. That's
Thank you,
right.
Assassin.
I'm confused. Pardon me.
It
But
happens.
amazing actors in this little movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That went nowhere.
But yeah, the musical episode of Buffy, by far one of my favorite. Like I said, partially because
the music episode and then the gentleman episode, that was frightening. That was a really good villain. I think they were called the gentlemen, the ones who stole everyone's voice.
Mhm. And the show had amazing consistency. Like, there was the episode fairly early on where everyone became their Halloween costume.
Oh, yeah.
And they made it clear that people would have occasional memories of their Halloween costume. So things that their Halloween costume knew, they would occasionally get this like, shit, why do I know how to do this? Oh yeah, because I became that during this weird fucking scenario. And they would come back to that at later points, remembering that they had already built that in. So at one point, there's Xander, who had become a soldier during the Halloween episode, is in a scenario where he's going, I know how to put together this. Why do I... Holy shit. I know how to put together a fucking javelin system because of that shit. And he put together a javelin system because he knew how to do it from when he became a soldier during that episode. They would have callbacks that were amazing.
Awesome.
Would have been really twisted if they'd done that with the kids who turned into demons, you know?
They effectively implied that does happen.
I know. I'm just saying that.
And the fact that they just kept on having the things that seem like they'd just be one-off episodes actually come back later as a, oh shit, yeah. That made the show amazing. Because they do that with a bunch of random things. The Halloween episode where they became their costumes came back several times in the series, where they would remember something. There was the one-off of Buffy wishing that she never existed, and she was suddenly thrust into a world where she wasn't the Slayer. And it had evil Xander and evil Willow.
Mm-hmm.
And evil Xander and evil Willow popped up later on due to various scenarios.
Did they have mustaches though?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they
No, they did not. They
Oh.
did not have mustaches in that. And sorry, I was reading what Assassin of the Grey said, where you have to be an anti-armor specialist to run a FGM 148 Javelin. And yes, it was effectively that he was a specialist when he was in his military costume for the Halloween episode. So he was I can't remember if he was an anti-armor specialist or if he was just a general armory guy or armory soldier when that happened, but he had the information to know how to put together like 2 or 3 weapons, including a javelin. And it was just one of those, holy shit. That's some consistency, which is fucking rare nowadays. And it shouldn't be rare. It should be the norm that episode or that series are consistent with what they say.
Mm-hmm.
But it isn't. Nowadays, you'll have something that seems like it should be this major thing from that point on, and then the next episode, oh yeah, it's...
Well, another example
Dumb.
is so they did have a little bit of lesbianism, like
Yep.
Willow becomes a lesbian, and I didn't love it and I didn't hate it. The example to it being Xena, like I really hated how they went about it with Xena.
Yeah.
Because it felt forced, like it was so unnatural, and I was always kind of like, yeah, I could compare this to Japanese animation where or the manga or whatever, where you see them writing stories about them where they're gay, even in the joking ones, they're gay.
Mhm.
But they're still real people. They're still behaving like real people. Like they might have little stereotype characteristics, but the
Whereas-
relationships are still normal.
Yeah, whereas Willow had kind of bi tendencies before that.
Yeah.
It was never really acknowledged that it was full-blown bi tendencies, but it was obvious that it was bi tendencies. Because Willow had kind of a crush going on with Buffy, and then went, no, she's my friend. Why do I... No, she's a friend. That's all it is. And then she had Oz. And then she had the traumatic experience with Oz, and she went, fuck it, I'm not going for men anymore.
Mhm.
And that's when she went lesbian. So she was a bi that consciously chose lesbian effectively.
Mm-hmm. At least
Which
with
made
her...
sense.
Yeah, with her relationship, it also wasn't forced. Like when they were together, it wasn't just, oh yeah, we're lesbians. It was like we're in a relationship.
Yep.
Which is my complaint usually when it comes to this wokeness. I don't, in fact, give a shit if somebody is gay. If you want to have a gay couple, go for it. It's how you go about it. If it's just I'm gay, 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 I'm like, I don't really give a shit. Just
And-
make a relationship.
Assassin, she wasn't quite a political lesbian because it was never, I'm a lesbian because fuck men. It was, I'm a lesbian because I like women, and yeah, I had a really bad selection of men, and that shit kind of blew up, so I'm just gonna go for women now.
Hold on,
Was-
Jen's gay.
No.
No, it was Willow in Buffy.
I'm just saying the way it was written was more natural, and that made it more believable. It made it more tasteful. It made it more tolerable for people who, like I said, don't necessarily give a shit. Like I appreciate everybody having their relationships, but if you're writing a story, write a story.
Mm-hmm. And that was one thing that it did really well. It wrote a story for each of its characters, and it didn't just go for the cheap political points or anything like that. It actually had a rationale behind why its characters did things, and there were points where the characters did things that would not be politically expedient, but it would be absolutely what the character did.
Now hold on. Is this something that we could say is a starting point for this type of mentality going forward?
I think it's something that we should aspire to when it comes to writing again, because when I watch things now, when I watch shows that are actually produced, I tend to watch very few American-made shows, because American-made shows are shit. They always have the gay character rather than a character who happens to be gay.
Mhm.
And they always have the female character rather than a character that happens to be female. And the difference between those two things is a gay character is someone that their central character aspect is that they're gay, and their entire character is built around being gay. Whereas a character who happens to be gay is a character, and then just one of the aspects of the character is, oh yeah, they like the same sort as they are. Which is a massively different thing. I cannot stress that enough. It is a massively different thing. There's a beautiful example from literature. There's a series that I really like, which is the Black Magician trilogy.
Okay.
And in the Black Magician trilogy, there's a character who is gay. And it is somewhat an important aspect that they're gay, because it's a fantasy series. So it's dealing with kind of like a fantasy renaissance. And he's a firstborn son of a noble family. Noble families want to have progeny. So being gay as the firstborn son of a noble family, that's fairly fucking taboo. So it becomes a bit of a...
Yeah, it always breaks my heart in Crusader Kings. Whenever.
When you have a gay son in Crusader Kings, you're going, well, fuck it. Can you at least stick it in your wife a couple times, at least bang out a child or two? After that, sure, fuck it. Go for the court minstrel, whoever the fuck you want to screw. That's fine. At least provide an heir. But in the series, the character's gay. They don't make a massive deal out of it. It isn't like the character's always going, by the way, I'm gay. Did you know I'm gay? I like men. I really like to suck cock. No, that isn't the shit that they're doing. The shit that they're doing is he's a gay guy, kind of closeted, and he's closeted because it makes sense in the setting, due to the fact that, yes, there's the demand to clip the I like to suck cock. But,
No, that's just a bookmark for later.
yes,
don't mind that.
I got some clips to make, you know.
The thing about it is that the character is actually a character. There's other things that you can describe him as other than gay. He's a fantastic diplomat. He is extremely clever. He's able to think through and piece together pieces of information and figure out what the fuck is going on in the story.
And is so flexible too.
Well, it gives people a chance to actually like a person regardless of who it is they're fucking.
Exactly.
And that, like they act like straight men don't have any friends with gay men.
Yeah.
At all.
And it makes it clear what the character's motivations are, what the character thinks like. And the fact that he's gay, it plays a part in the story, because it actually makes sense that it plays a part in the story. It's not just him being gay for the sake of being gay and, oh, look at me. Isn't it so amazing that I'm a screaming queen? No, it is him actually just existing in this world and the relationships that he takes part in makes sense.
Go ahead, sorry. You weren't
At
finished.
no point does it override any other aspect, which is what is the amazing thing. That's something that we need to get back to. We need to get back to the character who happens to be gay. Because I've said this before, when it comes to middle America, the average Joe Schmo from Idaho, if you would, if he asks you, so, tell me about yourself. What he's expecting is, well, I like to whittle and I am a really big fan of whiskeys and I love science and I currently am a laboratory tech and I do this in my spare time and I do that in my spare time. That's the sort of information that he's expecting back. Yeah. As well as the, like, yeah, I'm married or I'm single or I'm currently dating and it's somewhat serious. That's the sort of information because that actually tells you about the person. That lets you know who the fuck they are, what the fuck they're doing, what the fuck they're into. They aren't expecting, well, I'm black and I'm gay and I'm a Muslim. Because that tells you fuck all.
It's also how they've been portrayed. And the latest one I'm going to use it as an example is Batwoman. Because at all times during that one episode that I watched, did I ever think that if she had been a man doing that to a woman, would it ever be seen as okay? Yep. Because she was so predatory. And I was just like, do you really think that just because she's a lesbian that's okay? Like that they actually accept that behavior in the gay community? Because they really don't. Like, they frown on that kind of stuff. Like, yes, there are people in the community who fantasize about it, but sexual harassment is sexual harassment.
And Assassin of the Grey, I will differ with you in that opinion. He says, yes, but whittling and drinking whiskey is not a character trait either. It is something that actually tells you about the person. If they like whittling, that is a hobby of theirs. A person's hobbies do actually tell you about the person because it tells you what they enjoy doing. It tells you about what they find interesting. Yeah. What they enjoy doing and what they find interesting does tell you about the person. If someone tells you that I whittle, I cook, I sing, I do lots.
I crochet.
I crochet. Insert any hobby. That tells you infinitely more than what they like to mash their bits against. And that's the important aspect. That's what actually tells you. Because if someone says that they enjoy playing sports, that tells you something about them. It tells you that there's a certain physicality about the person. If they say that they like to whittle, well, that's detail work. That takes a lot of exacting measures from their hands. So you know that they're interested in details. You know that they like to actually create something rather than just having it there. Yeah. Because someone doesn't get into whittling without having a desire to create something. And they don't actually spend the effort in learning how to whittle without spending the effort in learning how to whittle. And you don't spend effort unless you have an interest. It tells you an interest. People are just conglomerations of their interests. That's what a fair chunk of your personality is. It's a conglomeration of your interests as well as your ethos. So learning their hobbies, learning what they find right and wrong, tells you a fuck ton more about the person than learning that they like the same bits as they have, or they like the opposite bits as they have, or they don't give a fuck what bits the person has. They just like any bits that are there.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Not to play devil's advocate or anything, but
absolutely go ahead and play devil's advocate if you're so inclined.
Well, no. I'm just saying. I have because I work on, uh, you know, I repair electronic systems, right?
Yep.
That's my job. Um, so I run across a lot of goofy people's systems, and I can say that it's not always it's not it's not always what these people are officially putting on their systems.
Mm-hmm.
They might take a turn somewhere left of Albuquerque, but it's one of those things where they go off the deep end and then they just I don't know if they care to go back or if they just like, hey, this is where this is where we're going. We're just seem ahead.
To that extent, even learning that to throw out something entirely fucking random, learning that someone's interested in cock and ball torture is more information about their personality than learning
Exactly.
what they like to mash against.
Yeah.
Well, that's just it. They have had a show before that was actually pretty good. That was queer based. It was called Queer as Folk. I don't know if you guys ever got it,
I never
I
heard
don't
of it.
think we did.
but it was basically like a Sex in the City but gay version, and it was about the gay community. So they did have regular relationships. They had dates. They did talk about things that were important to the gay community. Like they did talk about the odd person who was attacked, but it wasn't all about that. Like they talked about things like AIDS in the community. They talked about how there's some young boys that do try to sneak into the clubs, and the guys have to moderate that they kick them out, because you have to watch out for the guys who are predators. They really touched on a lot of things that had to do with the gay community, but they did it in such a way that it was entertaining. And it was better than just, oh yeah, I'm gay. It was more like, hey, I'm a living human being. This is actually how I live.
And to comment on something that Assassin of the Grey just said, Sex in the City was gay as folk. No. The people that enjoyed Sex in the City were as gay as folk.
Mhm.
There's a slight difference there.
But you get what I'm saying. Like they did touch on a lot of things. Like they touched on adoption in the gay community. They touched on the differences between the lesbians and the gays, and they touched upon there's phobia for AIDS, but there's cures for AIDS and there's solutions for AIDS, and
Well,
they
not
talk-
cures, there's
treatments. Sorry, that's what I meant.
Two entirely different things.
Yeah, I'm a little high too, but
Well, I mean, there was that one South Park episode where they found that piles of money was actually the cure to AIDS.
Hold on, she's high.
Damn
a
it,
little high.
look at Magic Johnson.
I'm a little high, and I've been drinking a ginger beer.
Nice.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Ginger
Adam's about to
beer's
propose
like
to Jen
what?
now.
6.5 to
There's not much in
maybe
here.
8%, but the 8%'s kind of pushing it. I'm willing to bet it's more like 5 something to 6.5.
I always wanted to try a ginger beer, but never got around to it.
They're
It's very
fairly
pleasant.
tasty.
Yeah, it's pleasant. It's like a candy. I was sipping it though.
Especially if you can find one of the spicy ginger beers.
Oh yeah.
Because do you guys prefer your sweet ginger ales or your spicy ginger ales?
No, I prefer a spicy ginger only because I love me redheads, and I don't mind the sass.
Man after my own heart there.
Well,
Hey,
I'm not a big fan of the sweet alcohols, so I like it spicy. So
Yeah, I'm a big fan of spicy ginger ales, the non-alcoholic version, spicy ginger beers, the non-alcoholic version, and that means that I'm also a big fan of spicy ginger beers, the alcoholic version.
yeah. I also like spice cakes or cookies.
Since we're back on the topic of alcohols, I think I'm gonna go ahead and tap out. It's almost 1 a.m. here, and
Oh yeah, fair enough. Completely lost track of time. We were having a good time.
Yeah.
well, I don't want to harsh anybody else's buzz, but I'm gonna go ahead and crash out. So
Fair enough. You have a good one, man.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Good
Merry
night, everybody.
Christmas. Have a good
Merry
night,
Christmas.
Camel.
Yes, Merry Christmas
Merry
to all.
Christmas
And
to
to all
You
a
and
good night.
yours. Ho,
Bye,
ho,
everybody.
ho.
Well, if he has ho-ho-hos, he's definitely going to have a Merry Christmas.
Oh, no, you took NORAD away.
Yeah, he was the one who was sharing NORAD.
Oh,
But
okay. Damn it,
Is-
Camel, come back. You
Is,
can't
is
go
it
until it reaches Vancouver.
so? Is it bad if I make the Indian took his land back? Oh,
he was an Indian giver with
God,
his sharing
no!
of NORAD. Is that what
Oh,
you're trying to get at,
God.
Adam?
I don't
Adam,
know.
why?
Because that's how my brain works. I can't help it. I go for the worst, the worst take, and it's like, oh yeah, this is fucking, what an Indian giver. Hmm. That's
Here you go,
so-
Sanguine. The link to the NORAD thing.
Oh,
You know I love you. You know I
got
love you.
another
Hey,
link
Camel.
to it. Fantastic. Let me quickly
Let's
pull
just
that
keep
up.
that on the on the stream. God, jeez.
I
That
can't
up
wait
and
until the stream
running.
is done so I can share that earworm with you, Mr. Adam.
No, I don't. Wait, what?
Oh yes, earworms
There's
can
gonna
win.
give you worms.
Wait, what is the earworm?
See,
Oh,
I'm
it's a
going to
Christmas song?
even. I'm going to share a more zoomed in version because fuck it, I can't
Yeah.
be asked to go through and zoom out a bit. No, we're going to get Santa and the sleigh.
Nice.
Version.
Yay.
Let me quickly pull up the right window for that. The official NORAD tracker. There we go. All 9 reindeer. Can you
Nice.
guys name
Aw.
the 9 reindeer, by the way?
I only know Rudolph and
And
Uh,
Dancer and Prancer and
You know, there's
Vixen,
Dancer and
Comet
Prancer and Almond.
Cupid and Donner and
On
Cuban.
Blitzen.
Yep,
Mark
it
Cuban.
is on
I can only name them in the tune of the song.
Hold
Just
on.
like
Dasher,
Blue
on
Outfit.
Dancer, on Prancer and Vixen, on Comet and
Comet
Cupid, and
Cupid,
Donner and Blitzen. And then the 9th is, of course, Rudolph with his red shiny
And if
nose.
you recall,
The most famous reindeer of all.
Dude. I hope that's
What?
copyrighted free.
Yeah, we're getting canned because we sang Rudolph, the most dangerous reindeer of all.
The
You
most
know-
dangerous? What is Rudolph suddenly Rambo?
It's okay.
He
Rudolph
he has
is
that
an
laser
animal.
nose, you
I
know.
don't know. I've been having a hard time with the lyrics, so I thought it
Ooh,
was.
whipping up to Yellowknife. Very nice.
Look at him go.
I do love hearing from Cynic that homemade ginger beer is effective grenade.
Yeah,
Nice.
making explosives as a child.
it's when the yeast has too much sugar and you know it creates carbon dioxide.
Oh, and it-
Always remember, if you are illegally distilling your own alcohol, that when you're producing alcohol, it's made in a racemic mixture. So racemic, just for those who don't know that term, means almost equal measure to an equal measure of 2 different chemicals or more than 2 different chemicals. The 2 different chemicals when you're talking about brewing are methanol and ethanol.
Yeah, and the methanol is what makes you all crazy.
Ethanol is the version that is the sort that you actually get from distilled spirits. Yeah. Methanol is the sort that will make you fucking blind.
Yeah, there's methanol in beer and wine because they don't distill it out.
Yep, and the reason why that doesn't cause an issue in beer and wine is not only due to the low concentration of methanol, but also due to the fact that the treatment of methanol poisoning is ethanol. The administration of ethanol, because just like most substances that enter your body, it enters as an almost inert stage and then is processed by the liver and kidneys into the active components. So
it gives it more time for the methanol to be converted.
Yes, if you down ethanol is has a higher affinity to the alcohol dehydrogenase
Yeah.
that then breaks it down into the subsequent molecules. With ethanol, it goes from ethanol to effectively something that is very similar to formaldehyde, then it gets broken down to something that is very similar to just fucking vinegar. Whereas methanol, it gets broken down into methanoic acid, and methanoic acid will make you fucking blind.
I didn't know that part, so that's new to me.
Yeah, it is the reason why people will go blind if they drink
Yeah.
too much hooch.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, another
Or
method
poorly
of blowing up your cans, though, just to say, if you put it in a freezer or outside, if you live in Canada, we'll blow up.
Nice.
That's if you have too much water in the concentration. So
What? Hold on.
Water
I heard if some ladies go too high up in the atmosphere, their cans will explode. That was a
I've
bad
never heard
joke.
of that. Yeah,
That was a myth that breast implants can explode at low pressure.
I pulled that
Yeah.
one straight from the 80s.
it's a myth that the pressure rating of fake tits, silicone implants,
So like whatever they used at that point.
would that the pressure in the let me phrase this in the proper way that the increase in volume due to the decrease in pressure would exceed the plastic tolerance of the actual implant.
Yeah.
So plastic in that sense just means the flexibility.
It's like Stretch Armstrong.
Yes.
Phil
Stretch.
Stretch.
Stretch Armstrong was extremely plastic.
I just saw videos where they pulled the skin off. It just looks kind of,
Oh.
it's just a
Just
gel in
sounds
it.
fucking sadistic.
Yeah. Well, they did a lot on the channel called the Random something. King of Random, that's what it is. They do that kind of stuff.
Like
And-
dissecting toys.
Yeah, well, they just do weird things. So
On
They
the
do,
off
dude.
chance that the noise gate didn't block it out, if you heard the weird liquid slapping sound, it is not any of the panel members. It is just me swilling the last of my Odin's blood because my Odin's blood is unfiltered.
nice.
So I have some spices at the end that I'm trying to get fully incorporated.
And some dead yeast,
Yep.
Whoa, hold on. Santa's taking a U-turn.
Yeah, he flies kind of crazy. He might be Asian,
Like we were saying earlier, we aren't sure if Santa or the person in charge of NORAD this year is pissed, but one of them surely is.
He's like, you know what? Fuck these Mongols. They don't get no Christmas presents.
Man, that just makes me think the fact that. Are you guys familiar with the 3 anthropological races?
No, I'm not.
I've played a couple of games about the 3 kingdoms.
Very different, but
Yeah, no, I know.
also an important aspect. So the 3 Kingdoms period, of course, being part of Chinese history.
I was just
The-
trying to be topical since we're over the area, but yeah.
Well, currently we're over the U.S., aren't we? No, we were
It's
over Canada, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, that's Canada?
Yes,
I think
Northwest
so.
Territories. Yeah. That's us.
Get out of here! Hold on, Jen. What part are
Alright.
we at?
I don't know.
Yeah,
We're probably going over Great Slave Lake.
the Great Slave. The
Great
Yeah, it's
Slave
great-
Lake? Is there a
Great
minor
Slave
slave lake?
There's
Is there a mediocre slave lake? Or-
the minor
must
slave
be.
lake.
Land
There's-
of not much. That is what that is called. Land of not much. I mean, there's probably people out there, but there's not much.
Oh,
But there's
he's
not much
moving.
people.
Oh, look, we're going to Fort St. John. Yeah, screw you,
Yay.
Northwest Territories. Time for BC.
Fort
I thought
Anybody live
none
there?
of it was
Yes.
further east.
Yeah, I thought he was out in China area. But, yeah.
No,
he's
no.
only-
Maybe Chinatown. You know.
See, he would have started more in the China area.
I would have figured.
Why is that
rather
where he
than
picks up the
finishing.
presents to distribute?
From the Chinese slave labor, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, he
Yeah.
has something in common with them. He enslaves the elves. They enslave the Eagers.
I am.
There's
s-
their
I-
Blackwater
hold
Lake.
on.
There we
Does
go.
he enslave the elves, or is it more like a Oompa Loompa type of thing, where
He
he?
saved them from.
Are you saying that the Oompa Loompas weren't enslaved?
No, they were saved.
Yeah,
did-
he brought them back to work.
Yeah, did he pay
They
him?
were they were saved and
They didn't
brought
know any
into
better.
another country where they had to work in a chocolate factory,
They were like, this
And
is
whether
slavery.
they wanted to or not.
They chose between slavery A and slavery B, and they
Yeah.
chose
True.
B.
Mhm.
They're like, yeah, we get chocolate. All right, that works for us. Shit.
And they
At
just sing
least we get
songs
to
about
sing
people
about
dying.
the fat kid dying.
As much as an elephant eats.
Okay, so now that we've
What?
determined that this guy is Nordic and he might be drunk, I'm just saying, and I'm calling it. If he lands
What?
if he lands on Hans Island and tries to switch out the flag for the dens and tries to switch out the beer, I'm just saying. He ain't
But he's
Santa.
on the wrong. But he's on the wrong side. Wouldn't that be on the East Coast or is it on the West Coast?
I know, but he's gonna go back that way at some point anyway,
excuse me.
right? So I mean, I'm just saying, if
No,
he's
no.
aiming for that.
What do you mean he has to go back that way?
Hey,
at some
Trout
point?
Lake.
Well, he's going back and
moving with
forth,
the time
right?
zone.
I mean, he was going back and forth effectively,
No,
so
he's just going north and south as he moves with the time zone. He's moving ahead of the time zone, but he's moving
Yeah.
with the time zone.
He
Yeah,
doesn't
like,
follow
it's
daylight
far
saving
too
times.
early.
That's why.
He's an hour early to be in BC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't follow, daylight saving time. So.
Oh, there we go. That's a good point, actually.
And according to Assassin of the Grey, the elves have a very generous labor and retirement contract with benefits that would make the AFL-CIO burns entire cities out of envy.
Oh, very nice.
Well, have you seen the ad on YouTube for that Christmas movie where the elf wants to be the first female?
Oh,
Claus?
yeah, that absolute shit Seth Rogen vehicle.
Oh,
I-
Santa Inc.
my
Yep.
only regret is that they left the comment section off, because the only thing that I wanted to do was just tell him Seth Green did it better in 5 minutes on Robot Chicken.
Yep. And this is going to sound horrendous, but fuck it anyways. Why is it that the couple of Jewish comedians seem to have a vindictive streak when it comes to Christmas?
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, well, but the thing is that you've got Sarah Silverman, whose brand of comedy is mean.
Mhm.
She's
Well, it
she's
was
not
mean, and then
funny.
she was trying to become extremely woke and failed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
she was always.
I think Norm Macdonald said it best. Middling
What is this, some
attractive
commie bullshit?
woman. Well, that was part of it, but the other was middling attractive woman who fucking swears in her jokes or whatever. But
True.
my thing is, I'm sitting there. Every time I look at Santa Incorporated, I can't help but see Satan, and I'm sitting there like, I don't know. I mean, I'm crazy. just off the bat,
I think you might
know-
be slightly dyslexic if you're looking at Santa and you're seeing Satan.
Well, I'm seeing Santa Inc. and I'm seeing Satanic.
Okay. Yeah. Still slightly dyslexic. But
Yeah,
makes more sense.
No, yeah, I'm putting it on. I'm putting that bit on the. Adams lost his mind long ago, and
Well,
this is
it's
the result of it.
it's kind of a true irony of it, though. And listen, as someone who's not Christian but grew up Christian, I honestly don't give a shit about crappy Christmas movies. But you do get a little bit sick of it. And then you think about it. Like, if somebody had done that shit with a Jewish theme to it,
See,
Like-
the part that pisses me off is the effective perversion of something.
Mhm.
Because this is, you guys have all heard about the Lord of the Rings, or rather, more accurately, the Middle Earth series that's
Mhm.
being put out, right?
No,
Yeah, I
haven't
heard about that. Yeah.
No, I haven't bothered looking into it for fear of disappointment.
Your
Oh,
fear
you'll
of
be
disappointment is well founded.
That's
Oh,
what I
great.
also heard. I haven't watched it, but that's what I heard.
Yeah, they're effectively trying to make Middle Earth more consistent with George R.R. Martin's take on fantasy.
Hold on, real quick. They're trying to do it before the Fellowship, right? They're trying to do it.
They're doing it
af-
effectively at the time frame of the Silmarillion.
Well, but that's a. I mean, even that's a. Are they doing it when a large chunk of Middle Earth disappears, or are they doing it after? They doing it before? They doing it? Like. I mean, Tolkien wrote a bunch about the history of this
Yeah,
world. So I mean, that's where it's like. What are
they're
they?
doing it at a comparable time of the Silmarillion, but it is based on humanity at about the time of the Silmarillion. But
Is it
they
the
don't
Second Age?
really fucking know what they're doing.
Well,
That's
I
the
mean,
issue.
that's obvious. you
Yeah.
know, when they're sitting there like, oh yeah, dude, we're gonna make Hobbiton more diverse. It's like, wait, what?
And they're
What are
planning
you
on
talking
including
about?
sex and
Oh yeah, they have the higher sex.
whatnot into the Lord of the Rings, which is just, or into the Middle Earth, to be more accurate, which is just a fucking perversion of this source material. Because the source material is intentionally stayed, to say the least.
I mean, at
Well,
this point, can we say that
I
all of these changes that a lot of these people are making is not so much that. I mean, I'm sure there's a portion of it that they want to, craft their own story and try and build off of it, but I think a lot of it is really more so they just want to kill Han Solo. Right? They just want to end whatever is out
They
there
want to
already.
they want to corrupt what is already out there.
Yeah,
And it sounded
it's
like
not
Sora
even.
had something that she wanted to say.
Yeah.
Sora, do you want to quickly hop in?
oh
Yeah.
oh crap! What were we talking? Sorry, hold on, because and then I answered Cynic. Uh so talking about the sexless aspects of Tolkien's work and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is you have romance in it, but
Yep.
it doesn't go beyond the old-fashioned the romanticism of the knight and the lady.
It
Like,
was the
I will carry your token, and that's it. That's about as brandy as you're gonna get. Maybe a kiss, but that's it. It is
Whoa.
something very romantic about that.
Did
It's
you just
very like
did you just say that carrying a token of a lady is randy?
about
Well,
as
it was
randy as you're gonna get.
Oh,
it was
sweetheart,
the
I love you.
pre-French Arthurian take.
That's beautiful.
Which
No,
do you
I
guys
just
know the French Arthurian take versus the
yeah. No,
more
and that's why
traditional Arthurian?
that's why I'm sitting there. I'm like, yeah, dude, this. Oh, I'm
Le
sorry.
Mort d'Arthur.
And the French version of courtly love.
Oh, jeez.
Not Courtney Love, who caused
I don't
the
like Courtney Love.
suicide,
She
but
killed fucking.
Courtly Love.
Yeah, no, not Courtney Love. She killed fucking. She killed.
Yeah,
a
I
dude.
said not Courtney Love, Courtly
Yes,
Love.
Courtly. As long as I can dance with my sweetheart.
Which, unfortunately,
shotgun
the
available.
French version of Courtly Love was also perverted, because the French version of Courtly Love is best surmised by the romance of Lancelot and Guinevere,
Mm,
which caused the fucking death of
of
Arthur,
Arthur. Yeah.
ultimately.
And I won't support that.
Yep.
Everything up against. the fucking French. And you know what? It's the French and their goddamn onions. You see? This is why I don't accept it.
Oh, they
No,
have a
no.
whole
The
soup.
French are onto something when it comes to onions, but they pervert damn near everything else.
Shoot the lasso, shoot the law, shoot the lasso, shoot the law.
Just because you know the cheer where it cheers about onions.
I'm sorry. Any country that sits there and has a war marching song about onions, get out of here.
No. Onions have their proper place.
And if you're Adam, that would be in the garbage.
Yeah, the garbage.
No. Adam has an improper place for onions.
Oh.
Wait,
Onions
really?
have a proper place.
Where's the wait? What?
Their proper place is not the focus of the meal, but an addition to the meal.
Yeah.
I mean, I realistically, I'd
So-
probably just be like,
so
"Hey, do you want
Sanguine.
my onions?"
Yes.
I to this day, and as in probably like I ate this like 2 weeks ago. If I'm really, really just too lazy to make myself anything to eat, I will
Mhm.
I will cut a slice of bread and a chunk of red onion, and that would be my dinner.
What? No. What? No.
So that is indeed the focus of the
No.
meal. is the
That's
onion.
not- No. How do you do that?
That's straight up poverty meal.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I just cannot. I'm too tired.
have holes in your
It's too
shirt?
much
What
to
the
boil
fuck's wrong?
water.
Good God.
At least mince it up and have
No.
some smoked salmon on it.
Is there a dude
No.
playing a violin on the roof over there?
No, I
What's
enjoy
your
it.
legs?
I love red onion. It's really good.
When I make my golden beef, I usually get a little sweet onion.
No.
It's red onion is pretty
Yeah.
sweet.
There's no sweet
As
onion.
I've said before, a meal isn't a meal without meat.
What if I cut the onion really thick?
Oh.
Is it not?
I don't find that is
Oh,
that true?
no, no,
Because
no.
There's times
Cynic.
when I
Bread in milk is the best thing in the world. I love bread and milk. You put in bread and milk, and if it's not a sweet bread, you sprinkle a little bit of sugar on it, and that was
Oh
like
my
my
God.
childhood.
You know what? I'm going to Australia where they put 100,000s on bread.
Poor Ben's pudding.
I'm going there because at least there's no mention of onions.
Garlic powder, onion powder, salt, sugar, pepper, or those are seasonings you eat. Yeah,
No.
I agree. Cannibalistic wizard.
Hey, you know what?
I
Garlic
put
powder is
I should not be allowed with garlic powder. I put that on too many things.
what?
Onion
Garlic's good for you.
powder, onion powder, and garlic powder can be excluded if you add enough minced.
yeah, I usually always pickle my garlic, so I always have garlic in hand.
Pickled garlic is delicious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Never tried that before.
Oh, yeah.
I did like your I want to try your this pickled asparagus. That looked interesting.
yeah.
Pickled
I guess-
How did it
asparagus is
taste?
Oh,
Have you
fucking
tried it?
delicious.
I had them before. Yeah, they're awesome. I have to wait till Monday to try them again because we in the refrigerator. You know.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
Hold
I
on, wait.
stand by
Hold
my
on, wait.
meal without meat is not truly a meal. It is at most a snack.
I can't
Yes,
really agree
no,
with
that's
that.
fair.
because
I agree
There's
with
times
that.
where I just want to plate the vegetables and no meat because
No,
I-
even if you're eating like a cheese and bread, if you don't have meat with it, that's nothing. But hold on, Sink is Australian. Holy
Yes.
shit.
Yes, yeah.
Cynic
Hold on.
rather than sick.
Oh
We know who we meant.
wait, how do you say it? Cynic.
yeah.
Cynic.
Cynic. There's two I sounds in the word.
Well, I'm gonna call him Sink now. So
Hey,
you know, tough shit. You
I
onion
feel
eating
your
Aussie.
pronunciation of cynic is sunk.
Well, you know what? Also, he lambasted me on Twitter about my choice in good music. He said that he prefers Catch-22 over Streetlight Manifesto, and I say, no, sir. Well, it explains it because you're Australian. So I don't know if you heard that, but that was my Get out of here.
That was your
person.
fairly strange scoffing, but it
Yeah.
also kind of sounded like mechanical farting.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you know,
just a
there you
little-
go. Take them both. You know, you know how I look. America first, Commonwealth people. I'm sorry, I love you, but you're just. You still have pictures of the Queen on your monies. I can't do that.
Yeah,
you know?
well, you know.
So,
Yeah.
She's wonderful. Leave her
I bet she
alone.
is.
She's wonderful.
You know, I guess that is one thing that you can say, that you don't really put new presidents on your money, because you'd have Biden on yours.
Oh God.
I mean, we'd have
Fuck
Trudeau,
that.
but I mean, you know, you'd have Biden
Well,
on
don't-
yours.
I am
Jess,
still,
ideas. They're listening.
Hold on.
I am still absolutely outraged at the people that want to do fucking Sacagawea or goddamn, who is the bitch for the Underground Railroad? I'm blanking on her name at the moment.
Oh, Harriet Tubman.
Harriet Tubman on
Dude,
the $20 bill.
I-
No. The money is reserved for founding fathers and actual fucking presidents, with the exception of, do you guys know who was on the largest banknote ever minted?
No.
Adam, do you know?
Oh, I want to say, because I remember hearing that they printed a note that was really big.
A
To cover the cost.
$10,000
Yeah,
bill.
yeah, but I can't remember. It was a newer president. All I want to say is I got a Sacagawea gold dollar, and I'm gonna hold on to that because
It was not a president. It was the first chairman of the Fed.
oh well, that makes sense because they're all corrupt. Fuck these people.
Yeah, it was Salmon P. Chase, and that salmon is in the fish.
Yeah, and Chase as in the bank.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, Salmon P. Chase was the person that was the figure on the largest bill ever minted, and he was the first person nominated to the federal bank.
Well,
This
hopefully
was back during the time of, I can't remember if it was right before Jackson or right at Jackson, where it was the Federal Reserve.
Federal Reserve, wasn't that 1917, 1915?
Oh, that would have been much later than I'm remembering. Let me really double check. damn it.
Jackson kicked out the first attempt at a central bank, but then he
And
didn't
Simon
get
P. Chase was, I
reelected.
think, was in the first.
Yeah, that was all late 1800s after the Civil War stuff. Oh look, hey, Santa's over Phoenix. Do you see the lights over Phoenix?
Simon P. Chase was the Secretary of the Fed, or Secretary of the Treasury, rather, in 1861 to 1864 during the Civil War.
Hey, I will say, as a little tinfoil Adam Jones type thing, why don't you look into the World's Fair?
Which one?
All of them. Fucking all of them. All over the world.
See, I rather like the idea of the World's Fair, and I
Well-
wish that we were still maintaining the World's Fair.
I'm more surprised that they sprung up randomly, and then after like a few years, they just demolished the buildings
Fucking died.
completely. Yep, it's weird. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
They don't do expos anymore either.
Yeah, the World Expo and the World's Fair were fucking amazing, and I loved them because of the technological development that they would foster.
Well, that
One
I
of my
mean, the early ones with Tesla versus Edison. Yeah,
Yep.
but,
My friend, so we had Expo 86 here, and my friend's older sister was born exactly like during Expo 86. So when it was there, and what was really funny is that the doctor who was to deliver her was just out the door, tickets in hand, ready to go to Expo 86 when she got a call from the hospital saying, "Oh, your patient's in labor," and she missed it because she had to deliver a
Damn.
baby. And she according to my friend, she's like, yeah, it's a story because it's the same doctor that they would see for all of the siblings. She would deliver all the siblings, and she's like, from that day on, her sister was like public enemy number one because she made her miss Expo 86.
Nice. And Chaos, he is currently in, I believe, Mountain, if not Pacific. I think he's currently in Mountain. Let's see.
I believe.
Yeah, he's going to Arizona. Arizona
Merry, Merry
is
Christmas.
Mountain, if I'm not mistaken.
He
And
hasn't.
Merry Christmas.
He should hurry up, get back up to BC because he only got to Cranbrook before going back south.
Fuck BC. He's just skipping it this year.
That would be pretty much on trend.
Par with what you would
Yeah.
expect.
Well, they don't actually celebrate Christmas, so I mean, come on now. I mean,
So that reminds me, what is the right and proper Christmas meal in your tradition?
whoa, yeah, is it ham? I've seen people eat ham.
That's
I really
for
don't-
Easter.
I really don't have one.
We ate ham.
I'm smoking a turkey
That-
tomorrow.
That's for maybe you white folk, like European white folk,
What?
Anglo
Hold on.
types for Easter.
Hold on, hold on,
let me
hold
Lamb.
on.
Wait,
Lamb
Oh,
is the proper
Romanian.
Easter.
The,
Oh my
the
god, I love this woman.
Romanian is chastising the
I love
white
this woman.
Europeans.
Yes,
Yes.
no, she is 100%. Dude, yo. Oh my
The
God.
only way that my heritage could get any whiter than it currently is
We have to have
is
lamb.
if I included
Yes.
some Eastern European.
Yes. Dude, turkey. Yeah, well, I've seen turkey.
Turkey for Christmas? Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen turkey.
So I hear ham, I hear turkey.
Well,
What
lamb.
else is your
No, we're going
proper
with lamb.
Christmas feast?
I will say I'm gonna enjoy
Cabbage
because
rolls.
my
Cabbage
family
rolls?
does have Mexican or Latinx heritage, so we enjoy
Latinx?
tamales.
Tinks,
Ooh.
Yeah.
or as I tend to pronounce it, twinks.
La twinks.
Oh, okay. A little bit of an aside. My mom just learned today. She asked me, "What is this Latinx?" And I was like, "Oh my god,
Don't
you've
just
learned
don't.
the word."
No.
It's bullshit. Ignore
It
it.
was so
I'm-
yeah, basically, and I explained, like, "Oh, it's supposed to be non-gendered," and she's like, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I have never heard it before." She said, "No."
I'm just
Just
grateful.
reading an article.
I'm grateful my my family hasn't. There's plenty of their younger offspring, I guess, that are kind of pushing that type of mentality, but a lot of the older folks are like, Latinx? What the fuck? Are you stupid?
Fuck that shit.
I'll give you
You're like,
guys
fuck that.
some
Like,
food. I'll give you some food advice. The smaller turkeys taste better than the big ones.
whoa. Why do you gotta be a heightist?
It's just you know.
Wait, shouldn't you be pro him being a heightist in that direction?
Well, I mean, I'm. I guess I'm particularly.
He isn't advocating for the giants like me. He's advocating for the slightly smaller in stature.
Yeah, but that means that. Okay, well, that's two things. One, that means that I'm gonna be cooked sooner than you, giant sir.
Whoa. Did I miss something? Why are we? Why have we resorted to cannibalism?
The other thing is you know what? I'm not too. I wouldn't mind a tall lady. You know, that's.
Oh yeah, if she's worth the climb for the drink of water, I'm perfectly fine with it.
Yeah. Hey, I don't give a shit.
And I'm disappointed because in chat and in stream, I haven't heard the right Christmas dinner yet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you want that goose and
cranberries?
everything,
Hey,
right?
Do any of
It
you
That
has
makes
to
sense.
be
Goose?
Goose. Goose is
Oh,
the
Goose?
right
Again.
and proper Christmas dinner.
White Anglo, Mr. Wasp up here, Mr. Waspy, the
some
host, in
strange.
his opinion.
Goose is the right and proper because you have turkey for Thanksgiving. You can't have a fucking overlap of your Christmas protein.
Hold on.
Well,
So does that mean
I didn't have a
they can-
turkey for Thanksgiving, so you know.
There's a whole
Yeah,
shit ton
just-
of gooses roaming around. Does that
Yeah,
mean
see,
I can?
I saw italic. I
Yeah.
acknowledge you.
I'm just saying from past experience, if you go for a Canadian goose,
Oh,
don't
Talek did
don't
say goose
shoot the
earlier?
one in the
Yeah.
front. Don't shoot the front bird because he's gonna taste like leather, like boot leather. Yeah, go for the ones in the back because they're
Wait,
new.
what? Hold on. Wait, how does that work? The one
The seniors are in the front, so that's like mutton.
is this
You
a
want to go
Canadian
for the
thing? Like,
lamb, which
the
is in the back.
Canadians, they just the goose layer up in leather armor. Shit.
Might as well.
How far back did Talek say goose? Because I scrolled back a fair bit.
He said at 11:21 p.m. my time. So 5 minutes ago.
Okay, that is.
But
Fair
goose, goose.
I also
But yeah.
have ham talic.
Nice.
Goose is the right and proper Christmas dinner.
Hey, no, you're not wrong because there's a song that I remember hearing where it's Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat, time to
Yep.
put a penny in the old man's hat. If you haven't got a penny, a half penny will do. If you haven't got a half penny, then God bless you.
Yeah. There's that song, as well as everyone's, of course, seen Christmas Carol, right?
Wait, what?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. And
I've seen a
what
Christmas
does
Carol.
Ebenezer Scrooge request that the young urchin get him for the Cratchit's Christmas?
I don't know. Usually,
Hole.
by the end of it, it's more of a he's just happy that he's not dead.
He's happy that he's not dead, but he requests from the young urchin the fattest goose.
Okay,
which
see
is, of
that
course,
that
the
that is
title of this stream.
Yeah,
the.
but you
fattest
know,
goose.
there's American versions where they go with the turkey, right? Because for
And those turkeys are just fucking wrong if they do it.
Hold on.
No,
Do you think
you need a
okay,
Christmas
Sanguine?
goose. Even the blue carbuncle acknowledges that it's a Christmas goose as
Hold
the
on.
right and
Hold on.
proper Christmas
Hold on.
feast.
Do you think that the reason that Americans are so in tuned to looking at Christmas as we have a turkey or even a ham, so to speak, so that we don't kill off these Canuck geese that are invading everywhere?
No, the reason why America went for the goose is actually due to the English going for the goose at a certain time period. Because it used to be that the goose was a New World bird, so it was a symbol of opulence. So the traditional English feast for Christmas was, of course, a goose. Then it came to the point where the English had the American colonies, the higher crust were able to afford importing a goose, and that became the Christmas dinner of the opulent was a turkey. Then the American goose and the English goose, because there was an English goose as well as a Canadian goose, which then becomes the American goose, was the standard for the less than noblesse, the less than noble, the whatever the fuck term you want to use for the group of people, the peasantry, if you would, that becomes eventually, as the peasantry moves up in status, becomes upper middle class, they do get the turkey instead of the goose. And of course, in America, it was more common to receive a turkey because it was already prestige status in the UK to get an American turkey rather than an English goose or a European goose or Canadian goose. So it became the constant that you would get a turkey, but that is wrong because we have turkey for Thanksgiving and you do not have the same protein 2 feasts in a row. So you go for the goose and you have a proper separation. So you have turkey for Thanksgiving, you have goose for Christmas, and you have ham for your Easter.
Well, see, I can't find goose or duck in my grocery store, so you know.
You have to normally custom order goose.
Yeah.
I mean, you can in certain areas, but it's just one of those things where it's really expensive. I mean, turkey's already expensive, but like anything fancy is still expensive. And then you fall into the other category of, unfortunately, Sanguine. Most people are now raised by heathens who don't know how to cook a goose.
Yeah, people don't know how to
Fucking heathens.
cook goose. What you need to do is there's a large amount of fat in the body cavity. You trim the fat from the body cavity. Then you roast the goose nice and slow so the skin gets crispy. Of course, just like with duck, you have to prick or score the skin in order for it to become properly crispy. Then you roast it. You let it come up to temp. With goose, you don't do medium rare goose. You have to do a bit past medium rare. Not quite fully well done, but it should be well browned meat throughout the goose. And it is delicious. If you do it wrong, then it becomes dry. Or you've undercooked your goose and you will get food poisoning from it.
I've been trying to find a duck so I can make duck ramen. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of hard to find, even though on the website they said they have it there, but it's never there.
You know,
I might be
wouldn't
being a
mind trying
racist
duck.
ass. Oh, sorry. I might be being a racist ass by saying it, but try your version of Chinatown.
Yep.
Whoa!
Chinatown will most likely have duck.
Okay.
That was the most racist ass I've ever seen.
I'm just saying, every time I've gone to a proper market, they always have everything
I'm just
that you're kind of
goofing with you,
wanting.
Jen.
Oh yeah, they always have the best stuff.
Hold on, but I do want to try duck. I haven't tried duck before, but I wouldn't mind
Oh,
trying.
duck is amazing. You take it. So, you know how chicken you throw into a already hot pan in order to cook, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Duck you throw into a cold pan after scoring the flesh, and you bring it up to temp. That allows the duck fat to render out
Nice.
beautifully. Crisp of skin, you flip the son of a bitch over, you brown the other side. It should be beautifully medium rare throughout.
All right, Sanguine. Next time you come over, you cook a duck.
I do want to try orange duck, though. It's one of those things where I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to trust a market duck. Like, I do want to go to a proper restaurant and order it from there, because I know good Chinese orange duck is supposed to be.
You can only find the best orange duck at the best restaurants.
Cheer Trump. Cheer
Terry.
Trump.
See, for me, the way it goes is if I'm going for duck, it either has to be medium rare, or the only exception to medium rare is Peking duck.
Mhm.
Because Peking duck is effectively a well done duck, but it is oh so fucking good.
Yeah.
Hold on. So, duck doesn't taste gamey? Because I heard some meats taste gamey. Or
It
like,
can get a slight amount of game depending on the preparation and depending on how old the duck is. The younger the duck, the less gamey it gets. You don't want to go too young or else it's too small. So you want effectively a year, maybe year and a half old duck in order to get the best flavor and best size for a duck. But if it gets at all gamey, all you do is you add some red wine. Red wine cuts back on the gaminess.
I do need to go lay down.
Yeah,
I hit my limit.
Yeah,
So.
it's getting
And it
late.
is past the time, so shall we go for parting words?
Sure.
You want to go first since you're tapping out early?
Yeah. Have fun, because what's point of we have fun, and I appreciate some positive thoughts from my uncle, because he went to ER today, because he's been having a hard time with his chemo. So just some positive thoughts would be helpful. Be nice.
Yeah.
Copy that.
Definitely be in our thoughts. Hopefully, he's feeling better. Have you heard anything?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
And just to comment on what Keeverdam said, we aren't getting lost at sea quite yet, even though it is, yes, a 3-hour tour.
Yeah, we done 4 hours before.
Yes, I've done
True.
4 hours before. Who wants up next for the parting words?
I'm already umming. Well, for one thing, Merry Christmas, everybody. I don't want to dampen things too much, but I did want to do another little shout out for Sean Uli, because I know you guys did one yesterday, but just in case people are new to it, he passed away a little while ago. Yeah. Sean Uli passed away.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of knew it was going to happen because he fought cancer like Hercules.
It was his third cancer she got. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
it
fought
was
cancer like Hercules, man.
yeah.
So, but
Oh.
yeah.
As I said yesterday, observe the proper funerary respect, and then if you knew Sean and you know
Mhm.
other people that knew Sean, after you observe the proper solemnity of the funeral practice, make sure that you get together and you just start telling stories.
Yeah.
Tell stories until you reach a point where you're laughing more than you're crying. And that will help you along a
Mhm.
fuck ton.
Mhm.
Help you along. You realize that if you're keeping him in your consciousness and you have a positive vibration about it, you're also helping him along. I mean, his soul still needs to get to where it needs to get to. And there's a lot of tethers on this planet. People don't really realize that.
Mhm.
It's that, I mean, that's one of the biggest reasons I see in terms of why you would want a big send off. You want people to be positive at your ending to help you cross over.
Mhm.
That's
And-
part of it.
And even if you aren't so religiously inclined, one of the phrases that helped me deal with death is there's 2 deaths for every person. There's the death where the body stops moving, and then there's the death where the last person that thinks of you thinks of you for the last time. So, by telling stories and sharing memories, you push out that final death that much more.
That's right.
Yeah, that's why I don't mind bringing it up. Like I mentioned it to Polly, and I know people super chatted them today, but it did make me feel better to cheer up Viper Sword by reminding her that it would probably make Sean super proud to have a cute Brit cry over him, and I bet you he'd still do that too. You know, he'd probably be hanging out in the chat laughing like, "Why are you guys all upset, man? I'm right here."
As Viper would say, though, she's cute.
I know, right? I got her to giggle, and that made it worth it. So
Nice.
Yeah, it's never easy. But keeping a positive outlook on it is always helpful, and God be with his family.
Yeah, that's the thing. Merry
Yeah.
Christmas to you, Sean. You know,
Yeah.
in our thoughts. I just want to. Yeah, that was it for me.
Oh well,
Who's up
it's
next?
sort of, I guess, to tag on what Jen was saying. I that was a name I would see around a lot, and it's a shock to know he won't be there. So
Yeah.
yeah, but my final thoughts are just Merry Christmas to everyone and your families, and hopefully, if we don't see you before the new year, a Happy New Year as well.
Yep. And I think that's everyone, correct? No one missed their opportunity, right?
I'd like to say something.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
missing.
go ahead.
Along the lines of what everybody said, I'd agree. I'd also like to add that as always, I appreciate the opportunity to join the chat and
Always fun to
voice
have
my
you around,
opinion.
man.
And I thank you, sir. I love talking with you people.
Yeah,
It's
always nice.
even if we disagree or we have our turbulence, it's a great release that I see. But in terms of closing statements, I would say that for this particular evening, Merry Christmas, everybody. But also, I love you all, and God bless.
Mm-hmm.
And Jen, there's a question of, do you have the obit link? So the obituary link.
I don't necessarily have it on me, but I can link it. I think
Okay,
that was on Scribe's channel, so I can just do that easy.
Let me see. I can
I'll
find
do
it.
that. So tack it into a comment or into the chat, depending on how quickly you're able to pull it up. But I'll leave off on my standard. If you're passionate about something, make sure that you devour it. Don't let it devour you. And with that, have a good night all. The zoo is closed.
Have fun.
Good night.
Saludos.
And of course, since it is after midnight, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Maybe.
Hold on, Sanguine. You got to do a ho ho ho.
You want a proper ha-ha-ha, or do you
Sang-
just want my deep
Sanguine. I need
Ho, ho,
a
ho, ho.
proper Sanguine Christmas light.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
I love it. Yes.
Have a good night, all.
Night.
Good night, all.
Night.